is I am going to be talking about what is wholesale today. Now, I know yesterday we had 2,000 people on here talking, laying things out. What we're going to do with the Elephant Challenge over the next 12 months is we are going to give you guys an education on wholesale, literally for 12 months. Okay. 9 hours, maybe 12 hours a month, all on the Elephant Challenge. And we're going to go through kind of chronologically, meaning I'm going to start with what is wholesale today. We're going to talk about title companies and finding buyers today. We're going to give you guys resources today. And then tomorrow we're going to start submitting offers and showing you guys what that looks like. Okay. Good to see everybody in here. Give me just a minute. I'm going to set up my whiteboard screen and I will be right back. Give me just a second. And here's what I'll do. Carly, can you pop up here with me for a second? I'm going to have Carly give you guys some instructions on how to get into the Circle app today. Okay. Hi. Hey, give Carly some love, please. She does so much for the community. She does so much for the free group. Now, when I reference the community, I'm talking about people that are in Subto and people that are in Gator and top tier TC. If you are in the free Facebook group, we just call that the free Facebook group. We don't call that the community. The community is those other areas. She does a lot for everybody. She does a lot for the free Facebook group and she does a lot for our community. So give her some love. Let her know that you appreciate her. Carly, can you do me a favor while I set up my whiteboard screen that I'm going to work on today? Can you tell people how to connect in the Circle app, please?
Yes, let's get started. So I am going to share my screen. So let me know in the comments. Do you guys know what the Circle app, what he's talking about? Most of you should. I'm just closing 8 gajillion tabs so I can share my screen for you guys. All right. So what the Circle app is you guys should all be there. You go to let me go to Elephant Challenge. Let me share my screen. Let's get a thing open. Okay. We're sharing my screen. And Pace makes this look so much easier than it is, you guys. Okay, here we go. Share. So let's go to www.elephantchallenge.info. And this is what you guys should see. This is an underwriting document. Okay, so this is how you get there. You put in your information here. And then you're almost there. Step 1 is to get into our community and network. So when Pace says jump on a team, this is what he's talking about. So I'm going to pull open the chat just so I can make sure if there's any questions, I can grab them. Okay, so the way this works, a lot of people seem to think that Elephant Challenge only happens if Pace is here. And yes, he is the best. And it's really exciting. It's the most exciting when Pace is here. But what happens is we have a whole community. And so this thing's been going, well, I shouldn't use community. It's an app. Community, like he said, is Subto, top tier, and Gator. So there's a whole place where baby elephants is what you guys are if you're not any in those 3 communities. For baby elephants to JV with Subto, to find some top tier TCs, to find some Gators to help them do deals with. So that's where you guys all want to be. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm going to go to the bottom of the chat. All right. So how did we get there? www.elephantchallenge.info. For all of you go-givers, can you help me and drop that in the chat? Because there's always some knucklehead, as Pace calls them, that shows up and is like, what are we talking about? So if people ask, can you guys help us out with that? So you come in here and that takes us into the Circle situation. So we say jump on a team right here. I'm going to click this. So this is what it looks like when you're in here. Thank you guys. You guys are so awesome. Thank you. Renville is one of our leaders. We have official Subto leaders. And so what we ask you guys to do is you come here and it's start here. This is where you guys start. So many people are like, I have a question. Where do I start? What is the Elephant Challenge? How do I find a group? Right here. So we have official Elephant Challenge leaders. We meet every week and we help you guys. We help you guys get deals. We have meetings. Yeah, there's a Zoom every week from at least a few of our Elephant Challenge leaders. We call them accountability groups. So we have all different ones right here. So we all meet together. We all are on the same page. So if you jump from group to group, we all JV the same way with our baby elephants. So if you're working with, we've got, you guys heard
Hey, Carly.
Pace talk about, yeah,
Can you hear me okay?
I can now.
Does it sound good or not as good as my other mic?
You sound really good. What do you guys?
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool.
Very crispy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
Okay. So right here along the side, this is where you guys get your group. So you guys heard Pace talk about Angie and Dom, and their entire team, the Herd of Profits, have just been killing it. They're doing deals. All of the leaders are killing it.
They have 15 deals in their pipeline right now from people in the free group generating leads and bringing them to Angie and Dom.
Yes. And that's just one team. There's so many teams that are doing this. So they are, if you want to get on Angie and Dom's team, they are so great. They are Herd of Profits with Angie. And you can come in here, you can come and chat, you can find out when their Zooms are and do deals with Subto students.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody has the link?
You guys got it?
Awesome. 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 Let's see. Let me see if I can get this set up. Let me see if you guys can watch this. Let's see. Where is this link? There we go. Check me out. Check me out. I got my little screen. Okay. So, guys, we're going to go through the basics of wholesale today. We're going to go very basic. Now, remember, Carly, if you don't mind from time to time dropping the link for elephantchallenge.info for people to get over there. We love Carly. She's amazing. Give her some love. I am feeling a lot better. Everybody keeps asking, how are you feeling? I'm feeling great. This is why drugs were invented. I took a bunch of pain pills, a bunch of sleeping stuff last night. I slept literally 12 hours. I felt like I was in a coma and I'm back to life. I'm okay. I've taken like 8 pain pills today. You know, when you get achy, your whole body's achy and you got like the flu symptoms and stuff, that's what I have. So I am just pumped full of this amazing thing called ibuprofen. And I've been super happy. Okay. I never take pain pills, but ibuprofen's been super dope. And today, yeah, Anthony says, wait, didn't you wake up at 3 a.m.? No, I did not wake up at 3 a.m. today. Actually, yeah, I did. I woke up, I went to bed last night at like 7:30, woke up at 3 a.m. and I took NyQuil at 3 a.m. and then I slept till 8 a.m. So I slept 13 hours last night. And then I've taken pain pills all day today. So I'm good. I appreciate you guys. Super happy. And I have been hydrating. I've been drinking plenty of Monster energy drink. Just kidding. It was just a joke. All right. So let's talk about this. I'm going to take I'll leave my camera on. You guys won't be able to see me, but you'll at least walk through. So how many people in here need me to break down what is wholesaling? There's always one person. There's always 2 people. Okay. See all the people. Give me a yes if you need me to break down what exactly is wholesaling real estate. Ethan, this might not be the Zoom for you. Okay. For those of you guys that are like, I know what wholesale is, you might want to just leave today. Okay. We're going to be very basic today. Please don't tell me to go fast. Please don't tell me to speed up. You're in here because you want to learn what wholesaling is. All right. So here's what wholesaling is. Let's say that I find a friend of mine and that his name is, let's just call him Tim. And Tim tells me, this is me, that he wants to find an iPhone 14. Right? And he's like, look, I've got literally $800. I want to, if you find somebody that has an iPhone for iPhone 14 Pro for $800, I'm a buyer. In fact, my friend Tim, he's kind of a cheapskate. So let's lower the price. Let's say that Tim only wants to buy this thing for like, I don't know, let's say $650. Okay. So he says, I want to buy this thing for $650 just in case you find something, let me know. And I'm like, okay, cool. Why do you want to buy? And he's like, well, I just know that the new iPhone's coming out. And so somebody probably is willing to sell their phone to upgrade. Okay, great. So I find another person named Susie. Susie has an iPhone 14 Pro. And she is like, I want $800 for it. Okay. I want $800 for it. Well, in a cash transaction, this is really hard for me to make $1, right? It's really hard for me to make $1 on somebody that wants $800 in order to sell it to somebody for $650. I would lose money. Okay. So we'll get into what creative finance can do for you in this situation in a second. Okay. Because there's two ways to wholesale a deal. You can wholesale a deal with cash and you can wholesale a deal with creative, but I'll go to creative second. We're going to go to cash first. Okay. This is also why I believe creative finance is way easier than cash, but let's talk about cash. So I go to Tim and I go, hey, Tim, if I find you an iPhone, you would go to $650? And he says, yeah, I'd pay $650. Okay, great. I go to Susie and I go, hey, Susie, I think I have a buyer for you, but the most amount of money that they're willing to pay is $550, right? This is essentially what you're telling Susie. And you're hoping that your negotiating skills, okay, how do you get from 800 to 550 is negotiating skills. So when people watch me negotiate on YouTube or they watch me talk to sellers or whatever it is, you watch me use my charm, my charisma, my logic, my storytelling, my whatever, in order to get that seller down from 800 to 550. Now, let's say that I get that seller to 550 and they say yes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get what we call a PSA, or a purchase and sale agreement. And today, I'm actually going to give you guys a purchase and sale agreement. Carly, can you do me a favor? And can you find the purchase and sale agreement? Can you find the purchase and sale agreement today and throw it in the side chat for everybody, like the Dropbox link or something along those lines, please? So I'm going to give this to you guys today so you guys can have the purchase and sell agreement to get somebody under contract. Okay. And I contract with Susie for $550. Okay. And then I go to Tim and I go, hey, Tim, I actually found somebody, but the amount of money they need you to go to is $715. Now, again, how do I get him from 650 to 715 is negotiating. Okay. Negotiating. I could say, hey, I found somebody named Susie, but Susie wants way more money because she has 5 other offers. Now, does it matter if Susie actually has 5 other offers or not? Not really. I'm just telling you how this works, guys. I'm sorry. Some people are like, I want to be honest. Well, if you want to be honest all the time, then probably don't jump into sales, because sales does have a lot of leveraging story, leveraging things that are not entirely true. And if you don't like being that person, then I would suggest maybe going into transaction coordination, going into something else other than trying to close people. Okay. Can we all agree that that's kind of the way sales works? You got to be a little bit decent at storytelling and omitting information. And we're not saying we're lying, but this is what you got to do. You got to say, I got to go to Tim. Okay. Think about this. I got to go to Tim and say, hey, Tim, Susie's got 5 other offers. Now, she could have 5 other offers. I actually don't know that or not, but I tell them, Susie's got 5 other offers. Your 650 is too low. Okay. So I need you to, if you're going to buy this iPhone 14, you got to be at 750. Now, Tim's going to come back to me. He's going to come and negotiate me down to 715. But now I essentially have created a spread. Okay. I now have a spread. So I get one contract. Here's my first contract. It's called the PSA. And I get a second contract now between me and Tim. This is called the assignment contract. I'm just going to call it the ASS because I don't have enough space, but it's called an assignment contract. Okay, and I will also give this to you today, guys. My PSA has cost me over the years. I'm not lying to you. Sounds crazy, but over the 9 years or so that I've been doing this, I have revamped this PSA no less than 50 times. I would say that this PSA is probably, purchase and sale agreement, has probably cost me somewhere around $80,000 in revisions over and over and over. And this assignment contract has probably cost me somewhere around $20,000 in revisions over that same time frame. So today you will get both of these for free. We will charge you $0 for that. We'll give you both of these contracts. They are, in my opinion, the best contracts in the industry, written by Sean St. Clair, my attorney. And these are contracts for cash transactions, okay? Cash transactions only. So now what's cool is I've got 2 contracts. I've got contract number 1, which is the PSA, and contract number 2, which is the assignment. The contract number 2 says $715. So guess what? I've just made a spread between these 2 contracts of $165. What's cool about this, okay, is I can take Tim's money right here. I can take Tim's money and I then give that money to Susie, the $550, after I take the $165 off the top of it. Essentially, I didn't have to use any of my own money to get this deal done, and this would be called wholesaling. I am wholesaling an iPhone to somebody with a contract, a purchase and sale agreement, and an assignment agreement, okay? So it's the same thing in real estate, okay? I can get a seller who owns a house. Actually, the seller should live in the house. What do you guys think? Should make sure that seller lives in the house. So I get a seller, they live in the house, and I can get that house under contract. This is me. I can get this house under contract for $100,000 using the PSA agreement that you guys will all get access to. And that agreement will say $100,000, close in 10 days. I need $1,000 of EMD. We'll talk about what EMD is here in a little bit. And then I can get a separate contract with my actual buyer, the person that's going to fix and flip. Okay. A buyer is typically somebody's going to fix and flip the property, or they're going to buy and hold it. Okay. One of those two things. And then you're going to have an assignment with that person for $100. Typically the average assignment fee in wholesale industry is about $13,000 in the industry right now. So for me to find this opportunity at $100,000 and then find the person that wants to buy it from me, I find those people, I put them together essentially in a contract. My average amount of money I'm going to make in a wholesale transaction is $13,000. Okay. And it's beautiful. Really, really freaking cool. All right. Earned money deposit. That's funny. Perfect image. Guy says it's not available to me. Oh, you guys are talking about the contracts. Okay, cool. So we got a lot of people with their hands raised. So let's see if we have somebody actually has a real question. Sometimes people don't. Matthew Wagner, you have your hand raised. Guido, what do you got a question? Okay. We will be not answering questions. That's the problem. Some people don't even know that they're doing that. Okay. So guys, please lower your hand. We have 3 people with their hands raised. Please lower your hand. You should not have your hand raised right now unless you have a question. Okay. Does this make sense? Do we all know what wholesaling is? Okay. Who is confused by this? Give me a me or confused or no, I don't understand it. I have a question. And let's make sure that we understand this. Okay. Does anybody have a question? Does anybody have a confusing part of this? Type in crystal clear, going well so far. Okay, great. Got it. Everybody's got it. Cool. Now, here's where wholesaling gets challenging. Okay. Wholesaling gets challenging because in order for you to find these deals, you actually have to do work. And the problem is human beings don't want to go do things they've never done before. Okay. They will find any reason not to do the work. They will find any reason to just watch and consume content, which is why we do the elephant challenges. So you guys have a little bit more guidance. Okay. The next thing that's really challenging is they go, okay, well, I'm willing to work, but where do I find these deals? How do I approach them? And how do I value these properties? Okay. Same thing with buyers, right? That you will go, okay, well, I need a buyer and a seller to make a deal work. So where do I find them? How do I talk to them? How do I know that they're giving me the appropriate number? So now all these other questions start coming into play. And it starts making it challenging for people. Okay. So let's go into some of the best ways to find deals in general, cash or creative. Oh, you guys want to talk about creative wholesaling? Check this out. Here's why creative finance wholesaling is so much easier. Check this out. So we had to talk Susie down, right? Everybody agrees? I had to talk Susie down to make money. I had to get really good at negotiating in order to do that. I also had to get Tim to go up on his price. Okay. I had to get Tim to go up on his price. Hey guys, do me a favor. Today is not the day for you to put your information in the side chat. Remember, we did that yesterday. Guys, can we please just not put our information in the side chat today of who you are and what you're doing? That's not what we're doing today. We did that yesterday. I told Carly to kick people out today if you are going to do that. So please don't do that. And don't make me ask again, please. Okay. So if I want to do a creative finance, here's the thing. What happens if Susie says, I'm not going to come down on my price. I want my $800. I know I'm overpriced, but I want my $800 and I don't have any reason to get lowballed on this deal. I want to sell my iPhone 14 Pro for $800. Okay. And remember, the buyer I have with Tim's my buyer. Tim is like, I want to pay $650 for that. Okay, well, here's the problem in a cash world. The people who are really good at negotiating can maybe overcome some of this stuff. But what if you're not good at negotiating? Or what if you simply have a pair of people that are not going to change what they're going to do? Like, he wants to pay $650, she wants to sell it for $800. That's not going to be easy for me to overcome. Well, what if I just said, I'm not going to do a cash transaction. I'm going to go and pitch Susie on a creative finance solution. And I go, hey, Susie, I can get you 800. Okay, but I'm not going to be able to get you create 800 cash. What if I was able to get you 800, but you do $50 a month times, let's say, 16 months? What you would then get $800. Susie might even come back to me and go, well, if I'm going to do that, I want to sell for $900. And now she might even come up on my price. Okay, well, no problem. I guess $50 a month times 18 months would get you to that number. Okay, well, now she's even getting a higher number than what she originally wanted. Okay, this is called seller finance, right? The seller is giving me payments over a certain amount of time. Pretty simple. Makes you really, truly understand, right? Makes you truly understand creative finance, okay? Now, I go to Tim and I go, hey, Tim, how about this? Instead of coming up with $650 immediately, what if you give this lady $200 down payment and $75 monthly for 19 months? Okay, and Tim's going to go, oh, wait, that's actually pretty good because I'm going to use this iPhone to go and make money in my business. So yeah, actually that would actually be better for me. I could save my $650. I could put $450 into something else or buy something else or do something else with it. Yeah, I would do that deal. Guess what? I still have a PSA. Now it's a different PSA. It's a creative finance PSA. This is something I do not give away to anybody other than my students. And I also have an assignment agreement. So I can still make a spread on this, even though this lady is hell-bent on her number at 800 or even maybe 900, because I structured terms that work for both parties. And I get to make the difference. In this situation, I'm giving Susie $50 for the first month. Guess what? Tim is giving me $200 down. So I make $150 on the front end. Okay. And then $25 a month for 19 months. I'm basically going to make another 200 and some odd dollars. I actually make more money. I make more money in a creative solution. I make more money, which is pretty cool, wholesaling that deal. I make more money at a higher price point. So I can actually give Susie more money. Okay, pretty cool. I can give Susie more money and actually still make more money than doing a cash deal. Does this make sense to everybody? Now, here's where creative finance does get challenging. Creative finance gets challenging because these little terms right here require you to use your brain and structure terms that work for both parties. And so that's where creative finance gets a little bit more challenging, is there's just an extra step. But the beautiful thing is I can actually pay more money. Right? I can pay more money to my seller and I can have the buyer have a better deal. What would you rather have? If you're brand new to business and you're trying to save your money, I would actually rather pay more for the phone long-term than I would pay less upfront. Right? What about you guys? I don't know about you guys, but I would rather use the phone as quickly as possible to start making money than I would just to come up with $650 right now. right? So it benefits the seller. So now let's talk about this. Let's talk about where these deals come from, okay? Where do these deals come from? Remember, this is where things start getting tricky for people that are brand new. They're like, okay, I get it now. I know what wholesale is essentially I'm finding a seller and I'm finding the buyer and I'm making the spread, which is my wholesale fee or my assignment fee, okay? I'm making the spread, the assignment, or a lot of times we just call this the finder's fee. And this is how you can make a business, right? So think about this. You have to now start thinking, where do these deals come from? How do I find them? How do I value them? Okay, great. So let's start with something really small. Let's start with, how do I find them? Where are these things located? Where? Well, this is also where wholesaling becomes challenging and all these people's questions come into play. I would say if I'm going to start today and you told me, okay, let's say that you are here and you come to me and you go, hey, Pace, you have 24 hours to find a deal, okay, find one of these golden deals, or else you die, your heart will stop. You have 24 hours to find a deal or your heart will stop. Hey, Miguel Hernandez, do you see how you are putting your information in the side chat? I've asked people not to do that. Can you please not do that today, my friend? Okay. Everybody, I've already said this. We're not putting our information in the side chat, please. Okay. Carly, next time somebody puts their information in the side chat, because we did that yesterday, please pull them out, please. Okay. They get the boot. I think, unfortunately, I can't have empty promises, because if I have empty promises, then people think I'm joking. And so going forward now, guys, we're just going to show you by example that we want to make sure that we're giving people value. I don't want to pepper the chat with all of who you are. We already did that yesterday. Remember? Okay, cool. So if I had 24 hours and I had to get a deal, where do you think I'll go to go get a deal? Okay. Where do you think I'll go to get a deal? Definitely not the MLS. Okay, guys, here's the great thing. Oh, yeah, there you go. Vincent Jackson is actually answering the question. Okay, MLS, Privy, all these things are places to go, but I need a specific list. I need to know somebody that's in pain. Okay, so Privy, sure, that's just a software. Stop giving me locations and start giving me a type of list. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute, because there's obviously a big disconnect. Okay, so a lot of you guys are saying MLS. Okay, well, the MLS, guess what? I can find all sorts of stuff. I can find expired listings on the MLS. I can find foreclosures on the MLS, right? I can find all sorts of things on the MLS. So don't tell me the MLS, right? The MLS is too vague. I don't want vague things in here. I want to know something very specific. Where do I go in the MLS? What is the thing that, if I could guarantee I could get a deal today, where would I go if I only had 24 hours or else I would die? Where would I go? Well, let me give you a list of places I would go. It's number one, I would go to expired listings. Okay. Number two, foreclosures. All right. Like, that is one of the highest pain points you could ever have right here. Number two is foreclosures. Okay. Number two is foreclosures. I would then, number three, I would go to long days on market. Now, please remember this, but there are about 50 other lists just like this, maybe even more. Okay. High equity, probate, inheritance list, divorce list, all sorts of stuff. Okay. Emilio Chavez says, I'm about to close a $200,000 assignment fee on a foreclosure. There you go. So Byron Myers, he's got it. Tired landlords, probate. So there's so many places you could go to go and find deals, right? Tired landlords would probably be my fourth one. Okay. High equity is another one. Low equity is a really good one for Subto and creative deals. right? So there's all sorts of places that we could go immediately. Government lists. How about this? You guys want to see something kind of cool? Watch this. We could go to like, yeah, there you guys got it now, right? Vacant lists. Farheen, we already said probate. So yes, probate for sure. We already said probate. It's actually been typed in the side chat a couple of times. Nico says, would a title company just hand you a list? Yeah, Nico, they would, but do you go to the title company and say, give me a list? Or Nico, maybe you actually tell them what you want, right? Nico, you there?
Hello.
So if I went to a title company, I said, give me a list, what would they give me?
Well, the way that you make it sound, it kind of sounds kind of vague.
Right. So you asked the vague question, right? Your question was, would a title company give you a list? The answer is yes, they would if you were very specific. And now here's the challenge is title companies don't have all the lists. They just have they have the same list that agents would have. Okay.
Right.
Foreclosures. They have expired listings, foreclosures, and that's about it. That's as much as you're going to get from a title company.
Okay. But generally, if you call to ask them for a list of like pre-foreclosures or whatever, they would be open to handing it to you just like that.
Yes, but here's the challenge is you're calling, okay? You're going to be calling somebody at a title company. Okay, let's look at a title company just real quick. So here's the office. In the front, they have a lady that's at the front desk, right?
Yeah.
In the back, they have an escrow lady, maybe even another escrow lady. They might even have an assistant. Then they have a title rep, okay?
Right.
If you call this lady at the front desk and you say, hey, I want to get a list, what do you think this person's going to tell you?
That she doesn't know about that kind of stuff and she'd have to hand me off to someone else?
Yep, and then she's going to send you to an escrow officer, and the escrow officer is going to go, no, we don't do that.
Okay.
Okay. Nico, I'm sure you've lived life long enough to know that you talk to the right person, you get the right answer. You talk to the wrong person, you get the wrong answer, right?
Right.
Like you could go to a bank, for example, and you could make a deposit with the bank, and one lady puts a 10-day hold on your check, and the other lady that's one register over doesn't put a hold on your check. Have you ever experienced something like that?
Absolutely have.
Okay. So title reps, I'm going to tell you right now, are some of the dumbest people you'll ever meet.
Okay.
Okay. Because they will literally sit next to each other. And they don't know anything about what the other one does. Truly. Okay.
Right.
And so when I tell people, call a title company, get a list, I have to make sure I tell you guys this out in advance, because I get people that DM me and they go, Pace, you're full of it. I called this title company. They told me blah, 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 blah. I go, give me your title company's information and I'll call them myself. And I called the title company. I go, hey, my name's Pace, looking for your marketing director. And then I talk to the marketing director. I go, hey, my name's Pace. I'm sure, are you in charge of client relationships or business development department? And the title rep. So when you go to a title rep, just FYI, the department that does this is the title rep. Okay. Title rep is also known as business development. Okay. Have you guys ever gone to like a meetup or a seminar and you see a title company is sponsoring that? Have you ever seen a title company sponsor something?
Me, I have not. I'm calling from Canada, so this is just a little bit of an extra layer to me. So
okay, no problem. So you've never been to like a real estate meetup or anything like that?
I have, of course.
Okay, so you've never seen a title company or a closing attorney. You guys do have title companies there as well. I don't know you guys call them like mooses or something. I don't know you guys call them, but
we have real estate lawyers. Yeah, we have real estate lawyers.
Okay, real estate lawyers. Perfect. You've never seen a real estate lawyer at a meetup that actually is sponsoring an event or anything like that?
I have. Yes, I have.
Okay, perfect. So the person that's at that booth is the title rep or the marketing department. They're the business development department. That's the person you want to talk to. Okay?
Understood. Okay.
That's the person you want to talk to, because what will happen is you'll talk to this lady at the front. She says no. She passes on to the escrow officer. Escrow officer says no, says no, says no. But if you're not asking for the business development department or the title rep, the people who are directly responsible for building the business and getting new clients, then you are going to hear no 1,000 times.
Okay.
Okay. And I want you guys to write this down. Okay. Everybody write this down. This is very, very true. Write this down. It's going to be a very short one. Write this down. People who go to title companies to get free lists are broke pieces of shit. Sorry. The reason why I tell people to go to a title company to get a list is because they are so broke-minded and they are broke financially that they won't even spend $40 to get a quality list. I'm being very, very serious. You'll never see a successful investor getting all their information from a title company. But the reality is a lot of people that want to get started in anything, right? You're willing to go pay 6 years of college, 10 years of college, 12 years of college, 2 years of college, but you don't want to buy a list. Okay. You don't want to buy a foreclosure list or an expired list, or you don't want to buy PropStream software. You don't want to pay for software. So what happens is I get people that come to me and they go, well, how can I get started with literally no money? The answer to how to get started with literally no money is you broke-minded, broke pieces of shit. I was one of them too. So I can speak with experience. I'm also one of those. So I'm not criticizing you. I'm just letting you know, nobody you know that's successful in real estate gets their lists from title companies. Write that down. Nobody successful in real estate is getting their lists from a title company. The people who are getting free lists, okay, are the people that just can't get over the fact they got to spend some money. Okay. There you go. They might have started there. Yeah, Jesse, you're right. You might have started there. But here's the problem, right? Now I have to go through somebody else to get a list. I used to do this also with probate, and I did this also with foreclosures. I would go to the county recorder's office and I would ask them to give me the foreclosures manually. Oh my gosh, I did not value my time. Oh my gosh, I did not value my time. I valued the time of driving to a building, parking in their stupid structure, walking across the street, waiting in line just so I could get 15 names that were added to foreclosure today. Would that tell you that I think that I value my time? It doesn't. I do not value my time. Now, somebody might go, well, I would have saved $40 because that list would have cost me $40. Really? What would you rather have? 2 extra hours a day or $40 sitting in your bank account? I don't know, but I can tell you that there are at least a couple hundred people on here that are like, I would drive down there and save the $40. And 80% of the other people are like, nah, I'm saving my time. I want my life to be efficient. I'm busy enough as it is. So the challenging part is when I'm educating, I have to speak to all people. Okay. I have to speak to all people. So the people that are broke-minded and broke financially, you got to start somewhere. So yes, it's okay for you to go to a title company and ask for a list, but what department do I go to at a title company in order to get that list? What department? The marketing department or the business development market. Okay. There you go. Champ Kamai says, I actually just did this. Definitely complete waste of time. And I still spent $5 when I could have gotten the same list online with more information. There you go. But some people are trying to save the money. Okay. So yes, you can go get some of these lists online. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. But when you're going to a title company, that's what you do. You go to the business development department. You don't go to the other people because they don't know. Okay. They don't know, sadly. All right, cool. So I'm not going to go through all these other things, tired landlords, low equity, all that kind of stuff. We're going to keep it simple. Okay. We're going to keep this really simple. Cause again, if I had to get a deal within 24 hours or else my heart was going to stop, these are the lists I would go after. Now, why? Why are these lists better than other lists? Can we tell me in the side chat? Why are these lists better than the other lists? Okay, pain, right? I always talk about motivation or bunnies, right? The bunnies. I want to find the bunnies. Okay. There you go. Mad at their realtor. So let's talk about this for a second. What's the motivation of the seller? What's the motivation of the seller that was on expired listing? Expired listing means that this seller who lives in the house hired a real estate agent. I like to call them real turds. Okay. I'm not talking about the good real estate agents, because I also call really great agents, which are not the 99%. The 99%, I call them real turds. But the 1%, I call them the unicorn agents. They actually understand real estate. They understand how things work. Most real estate agents are real turds. And what does that mean? That means that they will take a listing that the seller wants too much money, and the realtor will not be honest with themselves or honest with the seller, because the agent is just trying to chase down a listing. They're trying to list more properties. That's their strategy, okay? Now, the real estate agent has put this on what we call the MLS. The MLS is the multiple listing service. It's the largest marketplace for selling properties that only real estate agents have access to. So if I am going to buy a house, here I am the buyer, do I have the ability to go directly to the MLS? No, I do not. Sadly, I have to go through another realtor. Okay. I have to go to a real estate agent and say, can you go to the MLS? And then the MLS gives you information, and then you give the information to me. It's very inefficient, but that's the way that the business works. Okay, got it. Well, this property that this seller has been trying to sell for 6 months has failed to sell. It has failed to sell. Okay. It did not sell after 6 months. Okay. After 6 months, the agent becomes fired. So what happens is the seller goes, man, I hate this real estate agent. And they fire this real estate agent. Boom, you're fired. You suck. I tried to sell my house with you for 6 months, and everything that you see right here goes away. It's no longer on the MLS. It's no longer with the real estate agent. It is no longer even for sale. It becomes what we call an expired listing. So for 6 months, the agent tried to sell the property and they couldn't. So would that not indicate that this seller has a tremendous amount of pain and motivation? They already tried to sell their house, but they failed at selling their house. Does that not already give us an indication that there's pain? Okay, cool. So are we just calling any random person in the world, or are we calling motivated sellers? We are calling motivated sellers, right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So when people call me and they say, how do I get a deal? Well, you got to start with a motivated seller. And for me, that is a very, very motivated seller. Now, the second best list, in my opinion, is foreclosures. Foreclosures, I call this the ticking time bomb. I'm doing a deal today, actually, with Caroline Kane. Okay. I'm doing a deal with Caroline Kane. The seller has a ticking time bomb. There you go. AKA ostriches. Yep. There you go. Yep. The meth house. Yes, that is true. I'm buying the meth house. The bomb is ticking these days for sure. So, okay. Seller must sell or they're going to lose the house. Imagine if you're the seller of a house that's in foreclosure and you have a sheriff, okay, a sheriff that says, hey, Mr. Seller, just so you know, in 91 days, we are showing up and we are going to pull your family out of the house and put you out on the street. And not only are they telling you that, but here's what they do. They actually walk by the property and they put essentially a scarlet letter. They actually post a public notice on your house and they say that you are in foreclosure. Okay, Angel Ortiz, we talked about the difference between pre-foreclosure and foreclosure yesterday. Okay, what's the difference between pre-foreclosure and foreclosure? Let's stop using the words pre-foreclosure and foreclosure. It's just called foreclosure. Here's what a pre-foreclosure is. Pre-foreclosure is pretty literal, okay? It means that it is the seller is only 30, 60, or 90 days late. They're late. They're habitually late on their payments. They're late, okay? Then here, there's a line in the sand that gets drawn where the bank, who they owe the money to, the bank says, we're not going to ever get paid. Let's file a legit foreclosure. And they actually now are in a technical foreclosure, okay? And this now creates that ticking time bomb. Just to let you guys know, I treat these all the same. Whether somebody's in pre-foreclosure before the bank has actually sent them the notice, or if they're in foreclosure, if somebody's behind on their payments, 30, 60, 90 days, do you think I should probably be calling them as well? Yes, the answer is yes. I always do. Yes, I treat them the same. So let's stop using the words pre-foreclosure and foreclosure. It's just foreclosure, okay? It's just foreclosure. They're in pain. So there is a difference between the two, but just treat them the same. They are in pain. They have motivation. There's something going on. They're about to lose their house. We want to save them from that. See, Emilio Chavez just says, I've been that family that got kicked out to the curb with just some toys and a backpack of clothes. I wish somebody would have knocked on our door. There you go. Okay. What is it called when it goes back to the bank or the bank takes it? So we talked about this yesterday, Jesse. So tell me you did not show up yesterday without telling me you didn't show up yesterday. That's called REO. That is called real estate owned. So once the bank files the notice here, they actually put a letter, public notice, and they put a letter on the house. Then the day that the foreclosure actually happens, okay, what is an REO? An REO is that the bank took back the house, but they did not want to take back the house. Okay, what does real estate owned actually mean? Real estate owned means that the bank put the house on the auction and nobody actually paid what the bank was looking for. Okay, do you think the bank wants these properties back? No, the bank is not meant to own property. That's not what they do. Okay, they want to lend money. They don't want to own properties. And so what happens is the bank sends it to a foreclosure auction and nobody buys it on the auction. And what ends up happening is they now own the property and they then put it on the market and they try and have an agent sell the property. Okay. So REO. Is anybody learning anything today? Okay. Should we go focus on REOs, by the way? Is an REO a good strategy to focus on? I'm going to tell you right now, it's a waste of your freaking time. REOs are an absolute waste of your time. It's a niche strategy. There are some people make money in it, but it's mostly just real estate agents. Do not waste your time on REOs. Okay? Do not waste your time on REOs. Okay? But there you go. You now have the answer to your dying question. You had to have the answer of what happens if. Now you know. Okay? All right. So what's great about a foreclosure is that I know that the seller's motivated. In fact, if you just made your life mission, I'll tell you right now that just focusing on foreclosures, you could be a multimillionaire just by focusing only on foreclosures. Only on foreclosures. If you only focused on foreclosures, you would never run out of opportunities. Okay? How many people do you think are in foreclosure right now in just my county? Okay, so let's say Maricopa County. Maricopa County, where I live. Right now, there are 1,800 active foreclosures. Okay, active foreclosures. How many more foreclosures will be here next month? What would be the number next month? 1,800. New ones. They're replenished all the time. New people fall behind on their payments every single day. New people fall behind on their payments every single day. Well, Pace, what about the economy's so good? The economy's so good. Guys, in 2019, when the economy was cranking, 2018, when the economy was cranking, foreclosures was my number one strategy to make money. Guess what? The only time foreclosures has not worked in real estate history, when would you say foreclosures did not work in real estate history? In 2000, no, in 2008, are you kidding me? 2008 crushed it. There you go. COVID, the moratorium. The only time you couldn't get foreclosed on was during the moratorium in 2020 and 2021 because of COVID. But that's all gone, right? So now what's happened is there's a wave of foreclosures, okay? And I would say we're probably going to focus on foreclosures for the next couple of months, okay? Ellie is saying, Pace, I need help getting my first deal. Please help me. Ellie, what more would you like me to do? Would you like me to maybe get 1,400 people together to maybe learn some real estate basics so you can pair with some people? Could I maybe, even when I have strep throat and COVID, still show up even when I don't want to show up, pump myself up with pain meds so that I can be here for you to provide an atmosphere for you to be able to learn? Would that maybe be enough, or am I not doing enough? Am I not doing enough, Ellie? Like what more could I do for you, Ellie? Please help me understand. Okay. See, guys, there's just a point in life where, like, no matter what you do and it's free, you will still get people that are like, help me. What more do you think I'm doing right now? Right? Crazy. I'm not sick of it. I want you guys just to be aware of it. That's what we're trying to do. I'm trying to give you the basics. The problem is you guys are so impatient. I just talked to somebody actually a little bit ago. They went to school for 4 years, then 2 more years. Then they graduated and they made $90,000. And then after 10 years of raises, they finally are making $180,000 a year. So they were so patient for 16 total years to learn what they needed to know to make the 180. Okay. Yet you come into my free challenge and we're in an hour and 15 minutes. We're here. This little spot right here, this little dot, we haven't even started. And you're like, why haven't I done a deal yet? Okay. Just be patient, guys. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with what we're doing here. Just be patient with yourself, okay? All right. So, foreclosures, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we should focus on foreclosures for this next month or 2 months of Elephant Challenge? I think foreclosures are a really good one to start on. What do you guys, let's take a vote. What do you guys say? Expired listings, foreclosures, or long days on market? Foreclosures, long days on market. Now, why is it important? Why is it important for us to focus on one? Because the way I would talk to an expired listing would be different than the way I would talk to a foreclosure. Would we agree with that? And so focusing on one, there's always somebody in here that says, can we do both? If we're doing an elephant challenge and we're trying to help people get their first deal, is it intelligent for us to do 2 lists at the same time? And also, would you just consider yourself absolutely stupid if you even asked that question? Like dense. Maybe the word for you is dense, right? Okay. I mean, let's be real, right? People, the problem is y'all, again, are happy to wait 16 years to make $180,000 a year, but you're like, can we do both lists at the same time in a brand new challenge? It's a brand new challenge where I'm just barely getting started. Can we start? Come on, guys. How do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? Is the answer 2 bites at a time, or is the answer 1 bite at a time? So why do we call it the elephant challenge? It's because it's 1 bite at a time. All right. It's like you have the attention of a gnat that you're like, I got to do it all. Got to do it all right now. Do it all right now. And then you go home and you're, man, why am I not successful in anything in my life? Okay. What do you guys say? Let's do this. So Evelyn's asking a question in the side chat. Evelyn, would you think it's appropriate for me to side rail 1,500 people in Zoom and 400 people on YouTube right now to answer your question about a deal that has nothing to do with what we're talking about? Okay, so maybe link in with Subto students and they can help you out, right? Okay, cool. Go work with the Subto students on those deals, okay? All right. So what do you guys think? Expired listings, let's take a vote in the side chat. Expired listings, foreclosures, and long days on market. If I was going to go get a deal in my next 24 hours, something under contract, what would you want me to focus on? Okay, cool. It looks like an overwhelming amount of people want us to do foreclosures. Okay. Awesome. Now, here's the next thing that we're going to have a conversation about. Okay. We're all in agreement. We're focusing on foreclosures. Give me a yes in the comments. 1,400 yeses. Be active. Don't be the one person sitting there on your Android phone right now and going, well, my phone doesn't type the word yes. My keyboard doesn't have a Y on it. Okay. Just type in. There you go. Got me the yeses. What are we going to focus on, guys? Foreclosures? Okay. Looks like a yes. Awesome. We are going to focus on foreclosures. All right. Look what we got here. Let's see what we got. How many people do we got on YouTube? Okay, we got like 300 people on YouTube. Guys, just so you know, we do have a live Zoom going on right now. So you're welcome to come in here and hang out with us in the live Zoom. If Carly, you could put the link to this in the live Zoom chat over on YouTube, that'd be great. Okay, cool. So we're going to focus on foreclosures. Now, let's ask this question. If I'm going to do outreach to a seller, there's really only two ways to go and do outreach to a seller. Okay, so let's erase long days on market and expired listings, and let's just focus on foreclosures. Okay, so I now know I'm going to go focus on sellers who are in foreclosure. So now the question you got to ask yourself is, am I reaching out to the seller? This is me. Here's an agent. And then here's me. If I'm reaching out on foreclosures, which direction am I going? Am I going direct to agent? Or am I going direct to seller? Okay. There we go. This is why these questions are important, is that you need to understand that typically when you do foreclosure outreach, the agent is not involved in the first place. Okay. They don't have the listing anymore. They're in foreclosure. There's no listing. Okay. So this is the challenge with direct to seller, is I can tell you, people find it easier to talk to agents than they do to talk to foreclosures. And so what they do is they go, oh my gosh, I want to talk to agents because agents kind of fill in the gap. It is easier to talk to agents, I think, for the most part, for most people. Not me. That's not my feeling. I would rather talk to a seller all day long because I can actually hear the story of what's happening. Agents very rarely actually know what's going on with their sellers. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I've asked an agent, well, why is the seller in foreclosure? And the agent will go, why is it your business? Okay, well, yeah, I guess I can understand your argument. But then my immediate question is, why did I even talk to you in the first place, you dumb agent? I'll just talk to the seller directly, because if the seller was in foreclosure and you actually knew how to do your job, maybe the seller would not be in foreclosure. So I typically don't like working with agents directly on my foreclosure properties. I like to go directly to the seller in a foreclosure. Okay. I like going directly to the seller in foreclosure. Do we all agree with this? Okay. So this elephant challenge, we are going to go direct to seller on foreclosures. All right. Corey says, is he always a see you next Tuesday? Yes, Corey, I am. If it's about agents, then the answer is yes, I am. If you tell me you're an agent, Corey, without telling me you're an agent. Now, here's the difference. Okay. If you guys actually understand who I'm talking about, I'm not talking about every agent. I'm talking about the agents that don't know how to do their job. And you know, what's interesting is when you're an agent, I think you probably know this just as much as anybody else. Most agents don't know how to do their jobs. And as a licensed agent, if you've been a licensed agent for a long time, you also know that most agents don't know how to do their job. Okay. So it's true. Who dislikes agents more than anybody else? Other agents. The worst part of being an agent is talking to other agents. And you're just like, how is that? I get to listen to these conversations that my wife has with other agents. My wife's a top 1% agent in Arizona. And so I get to hear these conversations with these other agents. And I'm just like, man, I can't believe y'all have to deal with this. The hardest part of being an agent is dealing with other agents. Okay. So Bill Deaton, he gets it. He says, I'm an agent and I literally hate 96% of them. So am I talking about all the agents? No, I'm talking about the agents that are not improving themselves. Why would you even be on a live with a guy who's not a licensed agent if you weren't trying to learn something other than being an agent? So just by showing up here, you're already saying that you're not one of the agents that's not trying to learn more. Okay. So don't get your feelings all hurt because you're a licensed agent. As a real estate agent, you bring nothing to the table that the other agents don't bring. So let's talk to you and let's learn how to bring some value to somebody. Yes, I always will hate on agents. You will never change my mind about that. However, I work with a lot of agents, but I work with the 1% of agents that know how to do their job and understand creative finance and understand that wholesaling is not illegal and Subto is not illegal. Those are the agents I prefer to work with. Okay, cool. And I have not met an agent in a long time that knows something more about real estate than I do. You sit me down, you interview me. Let's have a conversation about real estate. Let's have a conversation about title and escrow. Let's have a conversation about creative finance. Let's have a conversation about a traditional real estate transaction. I know more about traditional real estate transactions, the flow, the paperwork, the documents, what should be done, when it should be done, how it should be done, more than other real estate agents. So I'm not anti-agent. I'm anti-agents that don't want to learn and grow and progress. That's it. Okay. Okay, cool. So we're going to work with foreclosures. All right. We're going to work with foreclosures. And when we work with foreclosures, we have to get access to the data somewhere. Okay. The data for foreclosures typically costs money. Okay. This is a challenge. So can I get the data from a free resource? Yes, I can. Okay. Can I get the information from a paid resource? Yes, I can. Do you guys want me to show you how to get, you guys want me to show you how to get information from a title company for free? I'll do it. Okay, hold on. I'll do it right now. And I'm going to do it, but I want you to pay attention to this. I do not suggest you go this route, because then I'm also going to show you how to do it for a cost. Okay. I'll show you how to do it for free. And then I'll show you how to do it for a cost. Okay. I'll do both, because there's also the people in here that think I'm a jerk because I talk about agents. Not trying to be a jerk. Maybe I just naturally am one. I don't know. But there's people in here that will be frustrated if I only tell you to spend the money. Okay. I will show you the free version and the paid version. Are we okay with that? Can't you just go to county records? Yes, you can go to county records, or you can call a title company who can pull that for you as well. Okay. All right. You guys hear me okay? All right, cool. So there's a lot of places we can go. There's paid sites. There's all sorts of paid, non-paid sites. I can tell you there's about 100 different places to find the foreclosure information. Okay. I'm going to call a title rep right now. Okay. See if she answers.
Hello, it's Helena. How are you?
Hi, Elena. It's Pace.
Hi, I know it's you. I have you on my phone. How are you, Mr. Barbie?
I'm good. Hey, I was talking to a big group of like 1,300 people.
Nice.
And people don't understand the difference between like a title rep and an escrow officer, et cetera.
Oh, okay.
But
That makes sense.
But I was telling him, I was like, look, the person that's a title rep is in charge of expanding the business of a title company, right?
Yes.
And I said that you can get lists from them, et cetera. Is there somebody I can call to get a list at your guys' title company?
That's me.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
Mhm.
How quickly could you get me a list of foreclosures in Arizona?
I need to call Brian and I can send one over to you right now. That's the most recent one, the notice of trustee sale list.
That'd be great if you could.
Yeah. And it has, it came out this morning. So these are the most recent notice of trustee sales that have been filed. It's Maricopa and Pinal County.
Love it.
And it includes residential, commercial, and land.
Okay.
And on the email that I'm going to send you, there's 2 other reports, which are expired listings, for sale by owner and for rent by owner. So there's a few different lists.
You guys have 4 sell by owner lists?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And I heard from someone yesterday, Anton Ekblad, who found the one that we did at the office, for Bigger Pockets.
Oh yeah.
And he emailed yesterday when I responded to him and he said, here's what I'm doing. He goes, to be honest, he said, I emailed 10 title companies and you're the only one that responded.
Oh yeah, it's typical.
Like, wow. I'm shocked that nobody's responding to people. It's like, you never know. You respond.
Well, I always tell people, I go to a title company that's actually sponsoring people's lunch and learns or like their RIAs or their masterminds, because that's the company that wants to expand. And there's a lot of companies that don't even have a title rep in there, or at least a marketing director, I guess, is what you would call them.
And we have, because I work with Eileen and because my expertise and my background, being an escrow officer and an assistant, I worked with creative finance. I've done that for the last 20 years.
Right.
So, not every title rep is the same in that regard as well. Some of us, some don't even know anything about escrow. They know how to bring business in, which is great. And I'm on the other side. I have a background in all of it. So
I love it. Okay, cool. I'll wait for your email. I appreciate you, and I'll send everybody your guys' way.
And if you don't, thank you. I greatly appreciate you. And we still need to do the thing with Eileen so we can get a Zoom done about talking about the things that are happening with wraps and realtors that are getting involved and they're not understanding how to write contracts and how to instruct them to do things. There's some stuff going on we need to talk about.
I love it. Okay, cool. I'm gone next week, but maybe we can do it the week after.
That'll work. And then I'm actually in India right now. We're on our way to Laguna Beach. And what I'll do is I'm going to email this to you. If you don't have it in the next few minutes, like in the next 5 minutes, please call me back or text and let me know. And I'll send it again just in case. Because like I said, I'm in India. So.
Of course. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Okay. So let's just highlight something just real quick. Did you guys hear what she said? She said, Pace, we need you and Eileen to do a class for realtors that don't know how to fill out contracts. I've never been a licensed real estate agent, yet people ask me to teach real estate agents all sorts of stuff. So yes, I am always a see you next Tuesday, always. Because that is my life. I live in a life where real estate agents who are been licensed for 15 years know less than I do. Okay. Okay. So that is Elena Donahue from American Title. Should we call a title company I've never spoken to before? So you guys can see the difference between a good rep and a bad rep. Here, let's do this. And what we'll do is I'll put you guys on pause and we can do some homework ourselves. Okay. The people on the East Coast are going to be at a disadvantage. All right, let's do a little screen share. Okay, American Title. That's Elena. First American Title Insurance. Okay, Grand Canyon. Let's just call the ones that are like the highest rated. Okay. Not a first. I think that's her. Let's see. Elena is American Title. I don't want to call that American Title. American Title. Lori Marlowe. Let's call Lori. Okay. 480-290-0948. Don't be calling her and bothering her. Let me call her. By the way, guys, expect this to happen in business. For those of you guys that have...
Hi, you've reached the voicemail for Lori Marlowe with American Title.
Expect that to happen 100 times before you get what you want, okay? I actually did this right before this call. I called brokers for my Subto students, and it took me like 4 calls. I don't know why, but I like that. I'm feeling good about this one. Grand Canyon Title, let's call them. Closes at 5. Okay. The other thing is, guys, the people that you want to talk to are always busy, right? The good ones are busy. So write that down. The good people are busy. The good people are busy.
Grand Canyon Title, this is Corey.
Hi, Corey. This is Pace. How you doing?
Chase?
Yep. Chase is fine.
Hi, Chase.
Do you guys have a marketing department or like a business development department?
That's me.
Amazing. I have a door knocking team, and I'm looking to get a list of foreclosures. Do you guys have a department that can help me get a list of foreclosures?
Yes. Are you a realtor?
I am gladly not a realtor.
Oh, okay. The reason why we work with realtors is because that's how we get our business.
Well, I know. I will open my files with you guys.
So you're an investor?
I'm an investor. We do probably 40, 50 fix and flips, and then we do about 200 wholesale deals a year as well.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
My girl at my last title company, her name's Carrie. She just retired like 2 weeks ago, and so I'm looking for a new title company.
Yes. Well, let me get my pen so I can write your name down.
Okay.
I would suggest you come in and meet us too, though.
I would love to.
Yes. Let me get a pen. Okay. Did you say Chase?
My name is Pace, Pace, like Pace Picani sauce.
Okay. And what's your last name?
Morby, Morby.
BY. Okay. And so you're a local investor. What town are you in?
I'm in Maricopa and Pinal, but I live in Mesa.
Okay. In Pinal. Okay. So you would probably want to work closely with the escrow officer to get these open.
My transaction coordinator will, for sure. I never talk to my escrow officers. My TCs always do, but I mostly just talk to the marketing director, and they just give me my list once a week.
Right. And who did you use before that retired?
Carrie Parsons.
Carrie Larson?
Parsons.
Where'd she retire from? What company?
She was at WFG.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, yeah, that would be work well. So how do you want to work? How do you want to work this? Do you want to come in and meet, and we can start you out with your first list, or?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, we get those weekly.
Okay. Perfect. What
So-
your guys, the address I pulled up, you were just highly rated. So that's why I called you first.
Thank you.
Of course, you guys are in Mesa on.
Tower Road.
Okay. I live on Gilbert and Brown. So I'm not far from you guys.
Yeah, we recently moved. We're over in downtown Queen Creek now. Does that work out?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to hang out at your office every week, but I'll come down and meet you once or twice. Yeah.
Well, a lot of the homes that you're going to be looking at are going to be in this area, I would imagine.
No, they're all over the valley. We'll have you guys do all of our escrows all over.
Yes. Okay, so why don't we set an appointment? Let's see, today is Thursday, right?
Yep.
Just to come on in and meet the manager and, let her know your style and so forth. Maybe you can introduce your transaction person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how are you looking?
How am I what? I'm sorry.
How are you looking for tomorrow?
I could come down tomorrow.
Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at my schedule.
If I could come down before, 2 o'clock, from 2 to 5 tomorrow, I'm not available.
Okay. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Are you in the office tomorrow? Yeah. Okay, so how about 9 or 9:30 to come on in and meet our manager, Stephanie Carter?
That'd be great.
And then we can kind of go over, how you like things to work. And she has got a lot of knowledge on the issues that you might, run in against.
Okay. Can I be there at 9?
Sure. And do you want me to give you the address?
Is this your cell phone?
Yes.
Can you just text it to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me write down your numbers since I have you on here right now.
Okay. No problem.
What is it?
My phone number is
You. Okay, I will text you the address and we'll see you tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Love it. Can't wait.
Okay, me too. Bye-bye.
Right, bye-bye. Okay, so literally the second phone call I got, and she's like, yeah, we get a list every single week. Do you guys have any excuse at this point? And when she said, are you a real estate agent? What was my answer? Oh my gosh, Mark. Oh my gosh, Mark. Oh my gosh. This is the reason why you guys will have such a hard time in life. I have to tell people, I have to show you guys that Mark, are you kidding me? Is that how your mindset is right now, dude?
No, I was actually joking.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
For heaven's sakes, Mark, you maybe had a freaking heart attack. If your guys' thought process is, well, I'm not Pace Morby, that lady doesn't even know who I am. Okay. What was my answer? She says, oh, are you a licensed realtor? And I said, gladly, I'm not. So do I need to be a licensed real estate agent? Okay. Should we call another one? One more? Let's just call one more because you guys I'm going to come up with a fake name and I'm going to say I'm brand new and I also am a pirate and I only have one eyeball. I'm going to literally get rid of all your guys' excuses. I'll say I'm brand new. Never done a deal before. Lawyer's title. Ooh, I like lawyer's title. All right. That sounds scary. All right. I'm going to call one called lawyer's title. Let's see. Give you guys this. This one sounds scary. So I'm going to call this one just to show you guys how hard this is. So would you guys say that I have a really good relationship now with somebody that I can start getting a free list from every single week? Do I have any excuses whatsoever? 480-830. Okay, cool. Let's see this.
Thank you for calling Lawyer's Title.
Hello, I'm a real estate investor just down the street from you guys. Googled you, saw high reviews, and wanted to see if you guys had a marketing department I could get lists from.
Absolutely. I can give you his contact information. Give
That'd be
me
great.
just a second here. His name is Josh,
Okay, Josh.
and his last name is Brunson, Brunson.
Okay.
And his phone number is 480-616-8588.
Awesome. And he's basically business development or like title rep.
He is, yes.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
This is so hard, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. It's so hard. I just don't know what to say about my life. It's so hard. Everything's so hard. Just picking up a phone is so hard. Doing things is so hard.
Lawyer's Type, Josh speaking.
Hey, brother. Your last name is Brunson?
Yes, sir.
Are you Russell Brunson's cousin?
I am not, or maybe I am. I don't know.
Maybe you are, dude. Hey, my name's Pace, and I'm new to the Valley in terms of doing deals. I'm a real estate investor, and I need to connect with a marketing department to help me get some foreclosure lists to have my team start calling. Can you help me with that?
Absolutely. We do notice of trustee lists, so it's going to be the pre-foreclosure. I'd be more than happy to get you on those. There's also a lot more that we provide, and maybe some other angles we can take as well. If you end up wanting to schedule either a sit down or a Zoom, and we can kind of dive into it a little bit deeper if you like.
I'm down. You want to do it? When can you do a Zoom?
I am not in front of my computer at this exact moment.
No, I mean, could you do one tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah, I have time tomorrow. I've got, I think, 11 a.m. What time are you thinking?
2:00.
2:00? Yeah. I should be able to make that work. Let me confirm, and then I'll have an answer to you by the end of today, though.
Okay, shoot me a text. Anytime between 2 and 5 tomorrow would be great, and I'll bring a bunch of my real estate investor friends so we can send a ton of business your way.
I love hearing that. Can you, when we get off the call, do you mind texting me your email and what part of town you're in, and then I will get that scheduled?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. I super appreciate it. By the way, I think you already kind of got the concept, but my role is I'm on the marketing side. So I'm working with you guys, lenders, real estate agents, just to help grow business, get access to clients, and make us all money.
You're the man. I'm the same way. I want to send you business.
Hey, I love that approach. I'm never going to argue with that. So
Awesome, brother. Appreciate you.
yep, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
See ya. Man, this business is so hard. I'm actually going to bring, how many phone calls did I take? Like 5, maybe? I'm going to bring 1,600 people on a Zoom with this guy tomorrow. Okay. And he's going to show you what lists that a title company can give you. All right. So let me shoot him a text. Should I bring him on a Zoom tomorrow with us? And just be like, here's the Zoom 16. Wow. That'll be good, right? It's pretty simple. Let me text this homeboy. Oh, he's got a freaking Android, dude. Really? Legit though, I almost don't want to bring him on here because he's got an Android. Like, what? Here, watch. I'm actually gonna be like, yo, tell your title company to get you an iPhone. Actually, better yet, I'll say, after we do 10 deals together, I'll buy you an iPhone. Wink. You want me to prove that I said that? Should we see what he says? It's always, people get triggered. The people that get triggered are licensed agents. They get so triggered. And here, look. Here we go. Can you see it? Let's see. Oh, man. Well, you can kind of see it. Sorry. Sometimes the light is so bright. See if we can fix it now. Let's see. Maybe this is it. See what he says. Why? Why does it do that? Oh, he says, haha, everyone teases me for being an Android guy. That was his response. It's like, bro, why? Why have an Android if everybody's going to tease you about it? There we go. Haha, everyone, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Okay, cool. So if you can't take a little teasing, just relax. Just relax. Just take a little tease. I can't tease you guys about your football teams or else somebody will stab me. Can't tease you about anything else. Got to be able to tease you about something. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take some homework. We're going to do some homework, okay? Here's what I want everybody to do. We're going to go on pause for 20 minutes. Can somebody DM me with what we've missed today? Come on, bro. Come on. Come on. No, I will actually go down to their apartment or their appointment tomorrow. I will go to that 9 o'clock appointment tomorrow. I legit will do that tomorrow. Watch. Let me see what I got on my calendar. I won't bail on that lady. I would not put that lady in that situation. And what I'll probably do is just record like the voice audio of the meeting and then just give it to you guys so you guys can hear how that meeting goes. Okay. Let's see. Okay. She says, "Pay, see you tomorrow." Corey. I'm going to go there tomorrow and I'm going to go on this appointment, even though I don't want to. And I will record the appointment for you guys. And I will make sure we give it to everybody in the Elephant Challenge. Oh, she even gave me her sweet photo. Okay. Grand Canyon title, Ellsworth. Gosh, damn it. Really? I got to go all the way down to freaking Queen Creek. Queen Creek is the Android of Arizona. Just FYI. Okay. 2-2. Does anybody want to come with me? Which one of my students wants to come with me to this appointment? All right. Which one of my sub-2 students lives here locally? I'm not taking Kevin Cho on any more appointments. No, I don't want anybody flying here. No flights. You got to be here. Donda, you want to come with me? I'm not taking a non-student, just FYI, only a student. Mariah says, Queen Creek is a cool place. Tell me you live in Queen Creek without telling me you live in Queen Creek, Mariah. Who's in Arizona now that is a student? Not that you'll fly here tomorrow. This is a 9 o'clock appointment. Sub-2 student. I'll take 3. Okay. All right. Send me an email. Actually, send Carly an email. She'll verify that you're a Subto student. Okay, Carly at pacemorby.com. Carly at pacemorby.com. I'd love, there you go. You have to be a Subto student. Anthony Kruppa says, no offense, but do you have COVID or strep? No. Can I sell or finance your mentorship? No, sorry. Carly at pacemorby.com. Send her an email. If you live here locally, I do not want people flying here for this. I have you guys come to my house parties and do all sorts of other things all the time. But this is one thing that just, it's only 2 hours. No, I'm not sick anymore. I'm fine. All right. Max Jones says, Pace, once you have your list, okay, this is a great question. This is actually on topic. So let's have a conversation with Max Jones for a second. This is the next step in the conversation, right? So like, hey, Max, what's up, man? Max Jones.
How's it going?
What's up? Great question. Okay. So let's go through this for a minute. I'm going to pull this up on the screen and I want to have this conversation for a minute. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the conversation is that, let's see, let me see if I can highlight myself and have you pop off. Let's see. Spotlight. Okay, here we go. All right. So Max, you can still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the challenge here now, we've already solved one of the biggest challenges, right? The biggest challenge is, where do I start? Okay, well, Max, what's your market?
I'm in Houston.
Okay, cool. So we've already started, right? Houston market. We're now going to focus on foreclosures in the Houston market, right? This is how we get started. Pretty simple. But now Max's question is really great. He says, well, once you get the data, right? Am I going to get free data, Max?
No.
Well, I am based on these phone calls I just made, right?
Yes.
So what I'll do is I'll get this free data for people that want to go this route. Now the question is, how am I reaching out to these people? What are the ways that you would assume I'm going to reach out to these people?
I do door-to-door sales, so I would just knock on the door.
Okay, door knocking is by far the most effective in foreclosures, okay? But I'm going to tell you something, Max. You do door-to-door sales, which means you're trained and you've overcame those fears. Can I tell you what most people do? What do you think most people do when they start doing foreclosures, door knocking? They quit.
I have no idea.
They straight up just quit. They stop or they don't do it at all. They just straight up quit. So I'm going to tell you, this is the most effective. Okay. The next most effective is cold call. But guess what? People still, they're afraid. They've got their little fear thing. This is second effective. Then the third one is what? What do you think the third one is?
It'd have to be like marketing.
Well, what does marketing mean?
Texting.
There you go, texting, right? So this is easy for people. Why is that easy for people, Max? Why do you think it's easier for people to do texting?
It only takes a couple minutes to send a text.
Well, they don't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah, no, it's not direct.
Right? What do we call these people? We call them sissies. Okay, I'm afraid to talk to somebody, so I'm just going to send a text message. But guess what happens after a text message, everybody? When somebody answers my text message, guess what happens? I still have to get on a phone call with them. So it's interesting that you'll see people that will text because they're trying to avoid calling, and then you end up having to get on a phone call anyway.
So continue to keep door knocking if it's working.
Yep. And I can, we did a door knocking challenge 2 years ago, and we helped. This was actually, we called this what was the name of that challenge? I think maybe it was just a door knocking challenge. It was 2 years ago this month, actually. And we helped 500 people get their first deal from door knocking. But you know how many people started that challenge? It was nearly 6,000 people started that challenge.
Jesus.
Okay. People just quit. They don't want to do anything hard, right? Nobody wants to do anything hard nowadays. And they think, you know this, Max. Have you ever accomplished anything worthwhile that didn't require hard work?
No.
Okay.
Everything's required hard work.
Anything notable requires hard work, right? So what will happen is people will avoid this altogether, right? This is what people do. They go door knocking, not going to do that. Cold calling, not going to do that. Oh, texting, that's easy. But then here's what's going to happen with texting, Max. Texting costs money. Okay. Because now you're sending text blasts, right? You can text people from your personal number, but people are afraid of texting people from their personal number. But text blasting costs money. Okay. So the best thing to do to get deals in foreclosures is always going to be door knocking. I'm probably not going to teach that this time around because I've done this so many times. We'll probably do cold calling because it's cheap and you can get a hold of people pretty easily with just your phone. But I think one of the other really effective ways to do it is direct mail.
Okay.
Okay. But guess what direct mail does? Direct mail bleeds your money. Right? So you got to send out something like $4,000 of mail to get one deal. Does that sound like what I should be teaching people right now?
No.
People won't do it, right? And for 3 years I did this. I spent 20 grand a month on direct mail. This is the best lead you'll ever get in your life is a direct mail lead because why? It's an inbound call. They're calling you, right?
Yeah.
These are all outbound. These ones right here are all outbound. And so it's a cold lead versus direct mail is a warm lead. So you got to make a decision on who you are, what budget you have, what your job situation is, et cetera. Every single person is going to be a little bit different in which way they reach out to the seller.
What's the next process once you get in contact with them face to face?
What's the next process? Be more specific with me, Max. Don't ask me ambiguous questions. Give me a specific question.
The customer has already looked into a modification, but they didn't get it. And
Okay.
they're 2 weeks from their auction date.
Oh, easy. I love that. That means they're at the tail end of their foreclosure. They've already tried everything. They've talked to agents. They've tried to do a loan modification. They might even had their house listed for a while. They probably have even been under contract with a wholesaler at some point if they got that far into a contract. Or, I'm sorry, if they got that far into their foreclosure, that means they've gone through everybody else.
Where do I go from there?
Easiest lead ever. What was your question? I'm sorry.
I said, where do I go from there? Where do I continue that conversation?
So do you have one right now?
I have like 10.
Let's call one. Do you have somebody that you're working with right now?
I'm trying to get into your program.
Don't join my program. All my programs suck. Just work with my students.
All right. Well, I need to get with one of your students then.
I mean, I only have 600 of them on the Elephant Challenge Live. Guys, tell Max he's
This is number one. First time I've been on this.
Okay, cool. Well, you missed yesterday, knucklehead.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay, so do you have a seller I can call right now?
Let me try to pull up their phone number.
Send me a DM on my Instagram with their phone number. Let me call them.
Okay.
The seller's 2 weeks away from foreclosure.
Correct.
And they don't know what they're going to do.
No, they're trying. They've told me that they've tried, but they are also. It's a weird situation.
They're all weird. Just so you guys know, all foreclosure situations are all weird. You're never going to run into a normal foreclosure situation.
Okay.
When you're talking about foreclosures and you say they're weird, that's normal. Foreclosure and weird, it would be weird if there was anything normal about them.
Okay. I'm trying to pull it up.
Okay, I'll keep talking while you pull that up. Pull it up and send me a DM on my Instagram so I can call him.
Okay, give me a few.
Okay, cool. So the seller that's only 2 weeks away from foreclosure. So the question I would ask the seller, what's the question I would ask the seller? The question I would ask the seller is, are you trying to stay in your property? Okay. You need to understand their motivation. You need to understand their situation. So I would love to call the seller directly so you guys can see it. While he is doing that, let me answer some questions. Everybody that has your hand raised, there's 15 people with their hand raised. Do you guys actually have a question, or did you accidentally press some weird button on your Android? Who has their hand raised that actually has a question? That's the better thing. Can you guys go in there and just double check your hands are not raised? Like Chetna, Silvio, Angelique, Barry, Braxton, Ellie, Maribeth Bierman, Michael Townsend, all of you guys, Charles, all you guys have your hands raised. Let's see if any of you guys actually have a good question. Jay, you there? Jay, are you there? Okay. Hey, Carly, will you do me a favor? And will you go through everybody has their hand raised and unraise their hands if you could? Just go through and unraise all their hands, and let's see if somebody actually raises their hand and actually has a question. Let's unraise everybody's hands. Oh, wow. Thank you. So guys, if you have a question, raise your hand. Better be a good one. And it better not be on accident. Okay. Jay Lancaster, what do you got?
Okay, great. I couldn't, how you doing, Paige? Can you hear me?
I'm good. What do you got?
Fantastic. Okay, no, what I wanted to ask was, could we do that, door knocking challenge, this time? For
No.
this, no?
Bro, we're halfway through a challenge, dog. Like, you want me to, think about that. I have an hour and 15 minutes today and 3 hours tomorrow.
Well,
If I'm going to do a door knocking challenge, it needs to start from the very beginning. We should have started it yesterday morning.
I didn't know what the process was.
Okay, so I do this challenge every month. Okay. It's 3 days every month. Okay. For 3 hours. Today's day 2. We got an hour and 15 minutes until we're over today.
This was the first time I was lucky enough to get into the.
Okay. So Jay, if you guys want to do a door knocking, you guys want to do a door knocking challenge next month?
Heck yeah.
I'll do a door knocking challenge, but here, you see how many people won't do door knocking? The majority of people won't do it. Legit, Jay. It is the most amazing thing that people will not do. They literally will not knock doors.
Yeah, I see a lot of no's. I see some yeses, but I see a lot of
no's. Okay.
Yeah.
So I probably am not going to do a door knocking challenge, or you could go and watch my door knocking challenge I did 2 years ago. What we did is we actually went into went into the field live with a camera on my door knocking team 2 years ago. And we would just watch my team knock doors live on a Zoom on a phone.
Okay. So so just doing it on my own now, I would just initially ask them if they're trying to stay in the house, and then I'll go through your 8 options. Has anyone given you your options of what you would, has anyone introduced what your options are to keep the house? And, take them through the.
Yeah, you could take them through it, or hopefully Max. Oh, let's see if Max can get me on a phone call with the seller. Max, you there?
Yeah, I left my thing in my truck. I'm trying to grab it.
Oh, okay, got it. So Jay, yeah, that's the answer. The answer is when you get a hold of a seller in foreclosure, you actually try and understand the situation, right? And here's the hardest part about real estate. I mean, there's a lot of hard parts about real estate. Real estate is not easy. This is challenging. You do have to know a lot of things. It does take time for you to learn these things. But it comes down to one basic thing. Do you care about people? Right? And Jay, I would imagine you do care about people.
Right.
The hard thing is everybody's trying to close a deal. They're trying to close a deal. I'm trying to close a deal. We're not trying to close deals. I'm trying to just get to know what's going on with that seller on the other side and see if there's any way I can help them. That's it. So you ask a lot of questions. Well, why is that? And what's this? And have you tried that? And da 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 da. Okay, well, what if I could help you? Right? That's basically what you're going to do on the phone call. It's very, very simple. Okay. How quickly can a step 2 happen once they've agreed? Michelle, I think, or Michaela, Michelle, how quickly can a step 2 happen? I don't know what step 2 means. Contract? Oh, sub 2. How quickly can a sub 2 happen? 1 day, 1 hour, 5 minutes? Really, really quickly. So Jay, sadly, I'm not going to be doing a door knocking challenge. It seems like that's what most people just don't want to do. People don't want to do that, sadly. I'm sorry, man. I got to bring the value that people actually follow up on. Nelson, what's up?
Hey, Pace, thanks for taking the time. I hope the question I have is on point. You started off, you were talking about how it's really not worth your time to go to a title company for the list, but then you made it look so easy. So I'm wondering, like, if it's that easy, why shouldn't we go? Or
okay, so great, really
what's the
great
alternative?
That's a really great question. Is everybody taking notes? Is everybody paying attention to this question? Couple of things, Nelson. Really great question. Perfectly on point. The challenge with this is now I'm beholden to a title company every week to give me my list.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay. And secondly, I actually know that the lists that I pay for are actually more higher quality than the list my title company gives me.
Okay.
Also, it depends on the title company, but some title companies will give you the address and the name of the seller, but they won't give you the phone number. So I have to then go and still have to pay for or skip trace the seller's information. So let's add that up. So let's say that I have 200 sellers from the title company. Title company gives me a list of 200 sellers, and I'll show you guys this tomorrow. Okay. There you go. Brianna said she's got it right. Title company can give you incomplete lists or dated information. So they're giving you the information. It might be 200 names, but where's my phone numbers? I don't have the phone numbers sometimes, right? Or they'll give me some phone numbers, but there's not enough of them. And so I still have to go by manual and go to True People Search if I'm still a broke person. True People Search is for broke people, okay? And it works, and you can have success doing it. But then you also go to like PropStream or Batch Leads, and Batch Leads is going to charge you money, okay? And it's going to cost 17 cents a skip trace or 12 cents a skip trace, okay? And when you do that, it's like 10 times faster. I don't have to talk to a title company, and I actually get a list, but that list might cost me $200. And so when you're in the beginning and you haven't even learned the skill of commitment and phone calls and building rapport and all of that stuff, I think a lot of people are afraid to spend $200 on a good quality list because they're like, well, I don't even know how to treat the crappy list properly. Why would I go spend the $200? So I'm just showing you both sides, and you have to make a decision on who you are.
Yep.
That makes sense?
That makes sense. Totally. On top of that, then, would it make sense to start off with the shitty list and kind of learn how to make the mistakes? Because I'm like straight out the gate, not having any experience. So
okay, I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody, Nelson. Stop worrying about getting a deal, and start focusing on acquiring skills.
Yeah.
Okay. The skill of commitment, the skill of time blocking, the skill of actually getting on the phone, the skill of making mistakes, the skill of screwing up, the skill of looking stupid and being okay with it, the skill of all of that stuff. That is the number one thing. So when you say, well, would it be smart for me to just start with something for free and screw up? Yes, that's exactly why I'm showing you how to do it for free, because you're broke. Financially, maybe. Skill set wise, you're also broke, right? You don't have a lot of skill sets. So acquire skills is way more important than focusing on getting a deal done.
Perfect. Yep.
And I tell my students all the time, the real deal is acquiring the skill. So skills are the deals. Most people focus on, but I want a deal tomorrow because I hate my husband and he's abusing me. I want to be able to move out with $10,000. Or I hate my 9-to-5 job. I just want to hurry and, get a deal tomorrow so I can quit my job, right? That's what a lot of people think. But you're not going to scale that way. You're going to run into all sorts of ebbs and flows in your business. The right thing to do is focus on the skills. Don't focus on anything else. So the skill of picking up the phone and overcoming the fear, that's a skill, right? Mm-hmm. The skill of hearing no 15 times, but still making that 16 phone call is more important than a quality list. That makes sense? Oh, Nelson, you're still there. Does that make sense, Nelson?
No, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay, cool. So there you go.
Thanks for your time.
No problem. Great, really great question. It makes a lot of sense for what we're talking about. So am I still going to show you how to pull a paid list? The answer is yes. I will 100% show you how to use a paid list. The problem is, isn't it interesting that even though I just showed you this, people are like, well, I still don't have all the information. How many people in here are just like, I can't move forward until I have Pace show me where to get a paid list? Interesting how human mind works. Samuel Rodriguez, what's up? Okay.
Hey, Pace.
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? How are you?
Really good. What do you got for me?
Nothing. I just signed up for, I do. I signed up for your program about a week ago, exactly. And I just been, studying all the videos for the training and stuff. I do some flipping on the side with a partner I have. I know this is not related to this, but if I am already starting on that kind of stuff, could I still put it together with wholesaling? Like, for example, try to wholesale a house and then flip it myself, or would you recommend doing that?
Yes. So Samuel, you've been in Subto for a week, right?
Yes.
Okay. So do you know how many Zooms we do on a weekly basis in Subto?
From what I understand, a lot of them.
We do 31 Zooms a week.
Yeah.
Do you know what those Zooms are and which ones you should focus on?
Not exactly.
Okay. I would have you go and look at those Zooms and see the topics before you ask me any questions.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So those Zooms are going to be very specific Zooms. Some are going to be about wholesale. Some are going to be about creative finance. Some are going to be about cold calling and training and calling sellers live and negotiating with sellers live. If you're not in tune with the Subto calendar, forget everything else that's going on in your life and focus on that. Focus on, I need to know what those 31 Zooms are, and I need to pick one or two of them during the week that I should be paying attention to. Okay?
Okay. I appreciate your help.
No problem. And by the way, they're not the same topics. They're all individually different based on what you might need during that time, right? Let's go to a girl because it seems like the guy's Janelle, I think is her name. Janelle, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. I was just my questions from a while ago. I'm not sure if this is just me, but in the chat, as far as door-to-door knocking, I'm in California. I don't know if my state's just screwed. So is it like a no-go to door knock here in California? And then I guess my next
No, people door knock in all 50 states. It's your state does suck in certain things like tenant laws. That's the only reason I will bash your state. Well, I have a lot of things I could bash your state about, but we won't go into that, but as far as knocking doors, are you worried that it's illegal?
Yeah, like illegal, or I mean, somebody was in here, they're like, it's pointless. I mean, yeah, I know people don't open doors. Maybe it's more so in California, so it's a waste of time, but I'd be
So
down
guys,
to
let
take my list.
Janelle, am I pronouncing it right? Janelle?
It's Janelle, it's fine. Yeah, Janelle.
Janelle, okay.
Yeah.
Your parents put an I in there just to throw us all off?
My mom was 18. She thought it was French.
Oh, it is. I get, okay, makes sense. I love it. Makes a lot of sense now. I'm like, wait, why are your parents playing jokes on us, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you the best advice I could give you today. Okay. Never take advice from somebody less successful than you want to be.
Okay.
So when you see somebody in the side chat giving their opinion about something, you have to immediately assume it's just their stupid opinion. Okay. I have about 600 of my trained students in here, about 1,000 people that are not students of mine. So you can imagine you get some people that just have an opinion, right? They're like, you ever see YouTube comments or like Instagram comments? You're like, man, that person's a troll.
Yeah.
When somebody tells you something's not possible, 99% chances that they are a troll.
Okay.
Okay. And what happens is there's this weird part of your brain that wants to believe something's not possible because your body, this is a weird thing, and maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't, but this is 100% fact. Your body wants, or your brain, the lizard in your brain, in the back of your brain that wants to protect you from hard things, wants to believe when somebody says something's not possible. Isn't it interesting how our brain is like, wait, I can avoid doing hard work and knocking doors and talking to people I've never talked to before? That sounds like discomfort. And then when somebody says it's not possible, that part of your brain will trick you into believing it's not possible, so you don't go out and do the hard things.
Okay. Then yeah, no excuses then. Got to get my list and start knocking on stuff near me.
Yeah. Now here's what I would tell you. I would tell you, find my students in SoCal. You're in SoCal?
Yeah. Yeah. Or like Orange County.
Okay, cool. So I would find my students in SoCal that know how to talk to sellers. They have the contracts, they have all the things. And I would say, let's go door knocking together. Don't go by yourself when you're brand new. Go with somebody else. Why? Well, one, you're a woman. Okay. You want to make sure you have somebody else with you. Number two, it's a lot more fun when you have somebody with you. It's just fun. You get to go to lunch, you eat snacks, you listen to cool music or a podcast. It's so much more fun when you're with somebody versus doing it yourself.
Okay.
Okay. So that, again, when somebody says something's not possible, what do we immediately assume?
That is not possible.
When somebody says something's not possible, I immediately assume they're a troll.
Oh, yes.
And the second thing I do is I go, wait a minute, I should probably only take advice from people that I want to be like, right? You don't take advice from people more successful than you, because when you're starting out, everybody's more successful than you. You take advice from people that are the people you want to be like, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So obviously you raise your hand, you ask the question like, hey, somebody says knocking in California is pointless. Says a loser. Says somebody who was inconsistent. Says somebody that gave up. Meanwhile, for every one person that says something can't be done, I could name 5 people that have done it.
Okay.
Okay. I have a student in Riverside County that makes $800,000 a month. Scott Oots. Okay. Wow. So when somebody says wholesaling in California is not possible, there's a guy making $800,000 with a family, brand new kids, all that stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous to take advice from people that are not doing deals.
Okay. I mean, I messed up already. Like, so as soon as someone says something's not possible, I literally was like, oh, it's not possible. Like, no, they're not actually, they're a troll.
They're a troll.
Not as successful as you. You wouldn't say something like that.
And maybe it's not me you want to be like. Maybe there's somebody else you look up to. Maybe it's like Elena Cardone or, somebody else that you look up to. But I would try and take very little advice from people outside of the 1 or 2 people you look up to that you want to be like. Okay, like Jen Shelton. I've got a student named Jen Shelton. You probably missed my SoCal meetup I had like a month ago.
Damn it, I did.
I went to Temecula and I had about 450 people show up to a ranch and we hung out until like midnight.
Missed it.
Okay. You would have met probably 100, 150 of my students out of those 450 people. Jen Shelton's one of my people that came out. She's a great closer. You ask her, are foreclosures easy? Is door knocking easy? She'd be like, oh yeah, I know a bunch of people do foreclosures and knocking doors, right? Rick Daniels, he was there. He says that was awesome. So this is why I do a lot of meetups is I travel all over the country. I did 7 meetups in the last 6 days. I went to Columbus, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, State College, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., Detroit, Philly, sorry, then Detroit, then I went to Minneapolis. I did all of that in 6 days. What am I doing? My goal is to get 300-400 people all together and make sure that they connect with each other. I met, I think, 1,900 people in 6 days, something like that. That's what you should be doing, is going and finding where are my Subto students linking up, where are they spending time together. They have a meetup every week or every month, depending on the area. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
This is why I do this free challenges, so you can connect with them. Okay.
Okay.
And by the way, all my Subto students, what you should be doing is changing your Zoom name to say, Pace Morby Subto student or something along those lines. Okay. When's your meetup in Houston? My Subto students have a meetup every Saturday in Houston. Okay. Okay. Great question, Janelle. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. Last question. We'll get right back to the training. Anna Casignia. Anna, how you doing?
Hey, Pace. I'm
Hi.
good. How are you?
I'm good. Your internet's really bad,
Hi.
just FYI.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How about this right now?
It sounds okay. What do you got for me today?
Okay. Okay. So I went to a foreclosure seller yesterday. He's about 7 days away from foreclosure. He's not wanting to sell. So I tried to help him out with several options that I know that he will have, but apparently he went to loan mode already. That didn't work, even forbearance and stuff like that. So we came down to the options of either I buy the house or he goes to find the money that he needs. He owes $55,000 in arrears, and he's got $35,000 in hand, and asked me if I could loan him $20,000. I'm a Gator, by the way.
Okay.
So I'm not even sure if I could do that with a private person. That's my first question. The second question is, what do you do when a seller doesn't want to sell when it's like 7 days away from foreclosure? I'm not sure he's going to get the money that he needs. And I'm pretty new. I'm 6 months in real estate investing. So what do I do there?
Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Okay, this is a really great question. I want you to remember this. Buyers are liars and sellers are worse, right? It's one of my most infamous sayings. And the reason why I say that is because you will have so many sellers that will lie to themselves and lie to you until the day before they lose their house.
Right.
We call it, Gary Shevitz has talked about this. They will lie and lie and lie and lie. And then finally, the person who follows up the longest is the one that wins. Okay. So you are sitting here hearing a seller lie to you is what you're hearing. Okay. You're hearing a seller lie to you. The seller's telling you all sorts of things. I'm going to stay in the house. Okay. Well, what happens when here you are in this house and the sheriff is going to come in and take you out in a week? Right? Mr. Sheriff has already said you have 14 days or whatever it is. To this seller, those 14 days are like an infinite amount of time. They feel like they have all the time in the world. So a seller like this, I'm going to tell you the best negotiating tool. Do you know what the best negotiating tool is for these types of deals? It is a clock. That's the best negotiating tool. Wait until the last minute before they lose their house and call them. So what you do, okay, you're going to call them every day.
Okay.
You're not going to try and get the deal done every day. You're just going to check in on them. Hey, have you found any other solutions?
Right.
Okay. The day before the auction is typically when like 90% of foreclosures get done I'd say within 72 hours of the auction. So if you understand this, 90% of them are 72 hours, then you will expect that a seller is going to lie to you all the way until that point. So this 14-day thing, this seller in his mind has plenty of time. How much time does he have? Like 10 days?
It's 21st. It's only 7 days. And I've been following up with these people for like the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
You know, and I don't know if I told them the right advice base. I told them, okay, here's what you can do. You can file for bankruptcy while you're looking for the money that you need. You can file for bankruptcy that will push back the foreclosure.
Mm-hmm.
And but then you have to come up with the money, because if you really want to cancel that bankruptcy after, you've got to do what you need to do. You need to find the money. Otherwise, you're going to be in bankruptcy as well. So my question too is, what happens when they are in bankruptcy, when they file for bankruptcy and their foreclosure pushed back? What happens after that?
What happens is they have to now go and file bankruptcy or cancel the bankruptcy. Okay. So all they're doing when they start the bankruptcy is they're applying for bankruptcy, and that halts or pauses the foreclosure. Doesn't mean they actually filed for bankruptcy. They haven't filed for bankruptcy yet. They filed for the intention to file bankruptcy. Typically, they have 30 days to actually file bankruptcy or get foreclosed on. So it gives them another 30, maybe 90 days. Okay.
Okay.
That's it. So
and I'm still going to follow up until.
What now happens is now you have to follow up during that process, right? And Pam Smith, for example, she says, how do I stop the foreclosure that quickly? Everybody that's a Subto student, my wife has done training live. Pay attention to this. My wife has done live training inside of the Subto vault on how to stop and postpone a foreclosure the day of a foreclosure and buy yourself an extra 30 days without having the seller file foreclosure. Okay, so if you're a Subto student that's already in the training, go back and watch the training, okay? Now, there's a couple of people saying, I just called the title company and I got a list. That is actually our homework for today, okay? Okay, so Anna, I'm gonna answer your question for you. The problem with this is that you're expecting that there's something wrong with you when you're negotiating with a seller and you are having all these conversations. You're thinking that there's some gold bar that you have to drop on this seller. It's like the best closing line of all time, right? You're expecting that the closing line, there's going to be a closing line. I'm not a good enough closer. I need a closing line. I need a closing line. I need the best negotiating strategy of all time. That's what people are expecting when somebody's in foreclosure. You're not going to get this deal when the seller is sitting there lying to themselves by just being a great negotiator. The way you get the deal done is by consistent, persistent, and relentless follow-up all the way until that seller has no other option.
Right. Okay.
That is it. So if you're like, I don't know what to do to get this seller to move forward, well, there's probably, Michael says, what are the seller's options if they are in pre-foreclosure? Stop calling them pre-foreclosure, guys. Just call them foreclosure. Okay. Throw the word foreclosure away. Get it out of your vocabulary. Okay. I'm asking because I'm here to help, and part of this is educating them on how to get out of the situation. What are the options the seller has? Sell their house. That's option number one. Sell your house. I mean, what else is there? You could go to my YouTube channel. I have a pre-foreclosure mastery video. It's really good. And watch the 8 options that I give sellers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a great video. Okay. So anything else, Anna?
That's it. And as a Gator, I know it's kind of like a stupid question. As a Gator, we're not supposed to lend to these seller, right?
You should
not
never sell to Gator. You should never lend to a seller, even if you're not a Gator. Gator or non-Gator, you should never, ever, 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 ever lend to a seller.
Right, right.
Think about this, Anna. Somebody who's in foreclosure and is lying to you and lying to themselves.
Yes.
Is that somebody you want to lend money to?
No, because my question is, how are you going to pay me back when
They
you
can't,
are already
and they're going to lie
in,
to you
like,
and scam
in
you.
dire? Yeah.
They can't even pay. They can't even pay for the house
They can't
payment
even
that
pay
their
their
family
mortgage.
lives in.
Right, right.
Their wife and their kids live in the house, and they can't even make that house payment without lying to you. Is that somebody we ever want to give $1 to?
No, not at all. And you can't even put a lien on that house if in case you sell to them. Because he was telling me there's like a hard money lender that's willing to another lie probably, that another hard money lender that's willing to loan him, and it's going to put a lien on on his property.
Okay.
And I don't believe him, you know.
Yep. Okay, so here's our homework for the night. Okay, I'm going to give everybody
Thank
our homework
you.
for the night. No problem, Anna. No problem.
Have a
Here's
good
our
one.
homework for the night. Okay. Foreclosures. Okay. Does everybody have their market? Okay. Here's the homework for the night. Everybody, hold on. Let me turn on my other mic. Okay. So everybody, your homework for the night is make sure that you guys are on a team. Okay. Raekwon, you say, call Max's lead, brother. I would, brother. I'm waiting for Max. I don't have anything for Max. Otherwise, I would call that lead right now. Max has not sent me anything. Let me check. Okay. Carly, are you still in here? See if Carly's here. Carly is here. Carly, I almost want to move her to webinar, but I don't want to. Maybe she's like fighting a squirrel or something. I don't know. Oh, here she is. Hi, Carly. The homework I want to give people tonight is I want to make sure people join a team tonight. And I want everybody to call a title company is their homework for tomorrow. But I want to make sure everybody's on a team. How do we get people on a team? Because there's people that are like, what are you talking about a team? I'm like, we had Carly talk about this 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago. So
Let's do it. Let's do it one more time.
Let's do
Guys,
it again.
We need you to join a team that Subto students and Gators are in charge of so that you guys can have access to some additional help after the fact. Okay. How do they do that?
www.elephantchallenge.info. I see a lot of people that are trying to be helpful and giving you guys direct links into it. It's not going to get there unless they can't get in unless they go to www.elephantchallenge.info. That's how you get invited into the group. Then you go to the Start Here section and it answers all your questions, including how to find groups. It's a video of me explaining it, but I can explain it now if we want to. In the left-hand column,
Will you type in will you put the link in the side chat?
Yep, www.elephantchallenge.info. Okay, right there. So you're going to have to put in your information and then it takes you to a new page. And number one, it says get into the app.
Okay. So she's giving you the link. The link is in the side chat right there. Sherry Fitzgerald, she says, Connecticut I think it has attorneys. Sherry, you imagine if for the rest of my life, I had to like explain to people, oh my gosh, Sherry, my girl, my sweet, sweet girl. You imagine what my life would be like if I had to explain to everybody the difference between title and escrow and closing attorneys. And I give people in Arizona the homework of call a title company, but then I have to stop and go, okay, you're in Georgia, you should get a hold of a title rep, or I'm sorry, a closing attorney. It would be turned into a nightmare. You know what I mean, right? Do you need me to tell you a closing attorney you need to get a hold of or no?
No.
Okay, you got it. This is why I love you. You're smart. So regardless of what state you're in, you need to get a hold of the people that close deals in your area. So Sherry Fitzgerald brings up a great point. She's saying, well, what about the areas with closing attorneys? Guys, some states use closing attorneys and some states use title companies. And now next, the question is going to be like, oh my gosh, more information. My brain is exploding. Use Google and type in, does my state use title companies or closing attorneys? Okay. Cameron Warden says, I live in Gilbert. I want to go, but my Zoom is being dumb. Let's see. Who emailed you, Carly, about going with me on the appointment tomorrow? Anybody?
I have a few people. Yeah, I forwarded you. How many did you want?
I don't know. We could take 2 or 3.
Okay. I have a handful of people.
Okay, let's just choose 3 then.
Choose 3. I can do. Do you want me to do it now?
No.
Okay.
I can do it after the Zoom.
Okay.
All right, so I'll take 3 people with me tomorrow to the title appointment, and then maybe they can hang out with me for the rest of the day. I don't know, but we'll see. Okay, so does everybody have the information to get on a team? Is it that hard to get on a team? Like, why do I still have people saying they're not on a team? Why is that happening?
I don't know. I post once a week how you get on a team. You go to elephantchallenge.info. It says get into the app, which is number 1. You click number 1. You get in. You get a direct email from me as soon as you get in. So there's an email from me on how to get to a team, but then you can also go to the section that's called Start Here, where everyone does not start, but you should start here. And it goes through a lot of frequently asked questions, including how to get on a group. There's a whole video of me explaining on a Loom, screen sharing how to get into a group. It's not hard, I promise.
Hold on. Let's see. Greg Crocker has a question. Let's ask. Greg Crocker, how you doing, man? Let's bring you up here. Let's have a conversation. He says, so I got to do this before you let me ask a question. Greg, what's up, brother?
Hey, man, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Really good. What question you got for me?
Okay. Golly, finally got through. It's hard. I'm in a roofing business. So,
Greg, you never raised your hand, right? Like, how would I know you had a question?
oh, I did a minute ago. It just didn't show up. I don't know. Somehow you found me.
Well, I found you because you said in the side chat that you have a question, so I just picked on you.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, I'm in the roofing business, and I'm noticing a lot of similarities of this because I have to go out and explain to people, hey, you got a bad roof, and explain to them how they can get one almost free. And I watch the way you talk to people, and you kind of walk them through and make them feel comfortable. It's the same thing I do.
Yeah, so literally the same.
So the question, I'm in Memphis, so you got a lot of low income people. So do you steer away and go to the certain areas away from the bad areas where people don't like to pay their rent towards the other place? Because that's the only thing that makes me a little paranoid to come in, take over these guys' place. And I'm like, well, I hope I can get somebody to rent this place. So that's why I'd almost want to partner with somebody like you that has the resources and either get, a little finder's fee or a percentage of the deal until I got familiar with it. So that's kind of my question.
Yeah, that's a good question. The answer is, yeah, you should partner with somebody in the beginning. It's called wholesaling. So you don't actually have to buy the deal, right?
Yeah.
So we explained what wholesaling is. It's like in a roofing contract. Think about this. If I went out and I found a house that you would do a roofing contract for $8,000 for, would you be upset if I found that contract for $9,000 and I took $1,000 off the top and gave you the $8,000 to do the roof?
No, well, of course not.
Okay, so that's what wholesaling would be like in roofing. Okay.
Okay.
So even if I don't have a roof company or even a license, I could technically go out and sell roofing contracts and then just assign those or wholesale those to you, somebody who does have resources, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, cool. So I would say yes. Don't ever think about worrying about owning any of these properties, or don't worry about roofing the house if you don't have the resources. Just assign it to a buyer, right? So the thing that we're going to talk about tomorrow is actually how to find a buyer.
Okay.
Okay. So the person that you want to partner with, if you're in Memphis, low income's great. Okay.
Yeah, I guess
Low
so.
income's a great area. You don't avoid the areas, you focus on the pain. Okay. So it doesn't matter what the house looks like. You focus on the pain, the obvious pain. So for you as a roofer, do you avoid any specific areas, or do you go after roofs that are just obviously the roof is in pain?
Well, no, that's true because I'm making quite a bit of money off of a little funky house in a funky part of town where
Right.
we're having to do the roof and asbestos siding's coming off and siding and sheetrock, and I'm going to make a lot of money on a little $100,000 home. So
There you
I
go.
don't-
So we don't avoid the type of houses. We avoid people that are not in obvious pain, right? So this is why we're going to the foreclosures. It doesn't matter if it's a $700,000 house or a $100,000 house. We already know that that seller's in obvious pain. And so we're not really fixating on specific neighborhoods in this challenge. We're fixating on specific pain points, which is foreclosure. And those foreclosures are going to be scattered all over Memphis. Okay.
Yeah.
Some are going to be in high income areas. Some are going to be in low income areas. We don't care about that. And the ones that are in the low income areas, you go, man, I don't want to own a rental in this area. Okay, fine. No problem. Sell the opportunity to somebody else by assigning it.
Oh, okay. Let them do it.
Okay.
Another thing I'm seeing, I haven't heard you talk about this yet. I saw that pad split thing here in Memphis, and another guy I know in LA. They're getting these homes and they're putting in people that are rehabilitating from drugs or alcohol and putting 6 or 8 people in these places and getting money from their insurance to take care of them for 2 or 3 months.
Yeah,
And
it's called sober living, and I have talked about it on my YouTube channel. Actually, I have a student. His name is Patrick. That's really good at it. And I've put a couple of videos of Patrick, one of our Subto community members, on my YouTube channel. I would go look that up.
Patrick. Okay.
Yep. Patrick Legenzov, but you don't need to know his last name. Just type in Patrick Pace, or go to my YouTube channel and type in Pace or Patrick.
Okay. Yeah, because that seems to be pretty good. I've seen some people. I got a guy out that was one of my best salesmen. His wife divorced him. He got all messed up. Now he's out and he's clear headed. And I started thinking, hey, we need to do this because they got
sober living. It's a great strategy. Go watch that on my YouTube. It's a really good one. Great questions today, brother. Appreciate you. Tavian is losing their mind over asking a question today. Let's go to Tavian. I love it. I love when people like, I want to answer a question. Tavian, what do you got?
Hey, I appreciate it. I gotta go back to work in a second.
What do you got for me?
I appreciate you pulling me on. Hey, when it comes to the team, you said it's not the elephant challenge team because I'm already a part of the Dumbo. Or are you talking about like someone we're on the like boots on the ground marketing, door knocking? Is that the team that we're supposed to be joining?
No, if you're already on a team with like Subto students leading the team, then you're on the team. The problem is, Tavian, I'm sure you've been part of the elephant challenge before, is that people don't pay attention. And here we are 2 days into the challenge. And I still have people saying, what are we talking about? Teams. I'm not on a team. I don't have any team. So we're obviously not talking about you because you're already on the Dumbo dial, which is the team you're on.
Okay, good. Yeah, I had to like set my own group because like I'm in a non-disclosure state, so like Privy wasn't working for me, so I had to do prop stream. So
okay, no problem. What, you're in Texas?
No, I'm in Kansas.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
Hee-haw, Kansas, little country.
Kansas is cool. I love Kansas. That's cool.
Yeah.
Dumbo dial you're talking about with Don Walker and Mike Jackson. Right? Yeah, They're great. So there you go. Tavian, you're already on a team. That's great. Thank you for asking. Yours, Jen. I swear to you, some of your guys' names, your parents were like, when you were born, they were like, I'm going to make Pace sound so stupid saying your name. They were thinking about me. They were thinking about trying to trip me up.
Hey, Pace, how are you?
Is it yours, Jan, yours, Han, yours, Han?
No. It was nice to see you in Columbus, Ohio. I'm John Bay, but my original name is Yurzan. I'm from Kazakhstan.
Got it. Okay, cool. Love it. Oh, dang it. I actually pulled you off. Hold on a second. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah, Pace, how are you? So
I'm really good. What do you got for me today?
So one sec. So the question is, you said that one of the most effective way to get in touch with with the potential client is cold calling, right? Versus door knocking, because the door knocking is like not for everybody. But I guess I have a business, so I'm doing I have my HVAC business. So isn't it dangerous? Because you don't know, like people are different, right? So if you go somewhere, you don't know them, so you're door knocking and saying, hey, you're in a foreclosure, and like you don't know the people, right? So just like for the
Yeah,
safety,
I guess you're right. Maybe we should tell all the roofing companies, the pest control companies, the alarm companies that maybe they should stop door knocking in all 50 states all year long and making all these 20-year-old kids $500,000 a year.
Okay. So meaning that don't have to worry about it, right?
I don't know. Maybe James Smith says, Pace, you're so wrong. So maybe James Smith knows something that I don't know. Maybe he has done more door knocking than my team has. Let's ask James Smith. James Smith maybe has the same opinion you do, that it's dangerous. James Smith, what do you got? Says, Pace, you're so wrong. James, what do you got for me?
Dude, that was total sarcasm.
Oh, got it. Okay, no problem. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. So yours, and think about it. You got companies like Vivint, or even the guy that you were literally listening to ask a question right before you says, oh yeah, we door knock and we go do, you know where all roofers get their contracts? They're knocking doors with houses that have bad roofs. So I walk up to the house. I don't know these people, never met them in my life. And I knock on their door and I go, man, your roof looks like shit. Right? Or I'm saying something polite. Like I'm not knocking on people's houses, by the way, you're down and saying, hey, I know you're in foreclosure and you're going to lose your house. That is not what I told you to say. We haven't even gotten to the script yet, right?
Right.
The biggest challenge is that people are so far ahead. They want to go so fast. They want to skip over all the basics. And you guys think I'm just giving you fluff. I'm going slow on purpose because this information is important. Your brain is on day 3 and you're asking me questions about scripts. Am I going to these sellers and saying, hey, I know you're in foreclosure. I can help you? Well, we wouldn't know that. I haven't talked about scripting, but the answer is no. We don't go to sellers and say any of that kind of stuff. Okay.
Gotcha.
Chris says, Pace, it scares me that you have your card pull. Guys, here's my American Express. Okay. Here, you guys want it? Here you go. Yours on. So do you see how you're overthinking maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Overthinking.
Anything else?
No, that was only question. So it was nice to see you, by the way, in Columbus, Ohio. Thank you.
Good to see you too, brother. Good to see you too. Okay, so we've got somebody that says, are we still going to cover the paid stuff? Now, I would love to see Sam run one of these Zooms. That'd be so good. I'd love to see Sam do it. Sam, what do you got for me, bro? Sam.
Hi, Pace.
Hi, Sam. How you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Do your friends say that you're a patient person?
Not really, to be honest. I was just, kind of throwing it out there to find out.
Well, Sam, I know why you're doing it, right? I know why you're doing it. You don't need to tell me why you're doing it. I just want to make sure you understand. I want to make sure you understand something. Okay, pay attention to this.
Yes, sure.
Do you remember when Max was on the screen and he said that he had a lead that he wanted me to call and everybody wanted me to call that lead? Do you remember that part?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And do you remember the part where he said, hey, I'm going to go spend some time on the Q&A while I wait for Max to give me the information so I can call the seller? Do you remember that part?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you see how I'm in the middle of Q&A and just killing some time until Max comes in here to give me the lead?
Oh, yeah, sure. I actually thought we moved on from that since Max didn't respond. No worries. Thank you.
Okay, so you're being really patient today. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Face.
Thank you. Okay, so I don't know if Max is coming back or not, and so I just thought I'd answer some questions. Okay, one thing that we will do, you know, when I bring up Privy or I bring up PropStream or I bring up Batch or I bring up anything else, I always get a handful of people that are critical that I'm talking about a paid thing. If I bring up a paid thing tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, right when we start, am I going to have criticism if I teach you guys how to pull up paid foreclosures? Ben says yes. Okay, Matt V says deed of trust. As he could have typed that in to Google just as easily. Matt V, my guy. Do you know what a deed of trust is, Matt? Or are you asking me what a deed of trust is?
No, I know what it is. I have a question about it.
Okay, what do you got?
As you know, some states they use mortgage and some use deed of trust.
Right.
In California, your favorite state, is kind of like hybrid.
Yep.
They use both. Now the problem what I have with, mortgage, there's only two parties, right? There is a lender and the borrower holds the title. But in a deed of trust, there are three people involved. There is a lender, borrower, and the trustee that holds the title. So in a Subto situation, how will you approach it? Can the owner, the seller can't sign off the title to you, the deed. He doesn't have it. What do you do?
Matt, yes, the deed gets signed over in all 50 states.
If he doesn't have it, the trustee immediately notifies the lender.
The trustee never holds the deed. The owner of the property is the owner who lives in the house. The trustee doesn't have anything to do with the deed of trust or the mortgage. Nothing. You show me a mortgage, or you show me a mortgage, or actually, I'm sorry, you show me a deed. Okay, you show me a deed that's held by a trustee, and I'll give you $1,000.
I'm going to start looking.
You better start looking. So, and your thing here is like, I'm going to start looking, which means you don't have proof that it is a thing other than maybe somebody you heard it from.
Maybe where I read it, but I'm going to follow up on that.
Okay.
Definitely.
James Smith says Pace is ready to have put his gloves on. I just know I will, when I have an opinion about something, it's just a very strong opinion because I've been there 100 times and I get challenged on it all the time. Matt, a trustee does not hold ownership or any document at all. Okay. A trustee is hired by a bank to foreclose on you. That's what the trustee's job is. They're not involved at all in the deed. And if you've ever seen a deed, okay, a warranty deed, it's like a one-page document. It doesn't bring up a trustee at all. It doesn't even bring up the mortgage company on the deed. It has nothing to do with it. Okay.
All right.
Nothing. Okay. So the challenge is you gotta know where you're getting your information from.
I read the code.
What's that?
I normally read the codes, California codes.
Well, we can
maybe
tell
I
you
wasn't clear on that.
We can tell you did not read the code for this.
What is it?
I said I can tell you did not read the code for this.
Maybe I got confused, but I'm going to double check and get back to you on that.
Here's what I would do, Matt. I would call a title company in California, and I would say, if I wanted to transfer a deed from one person to another, could you guys do that for me without a trustee or a mortgage company involved?
Fair enough.
That's probably a good place to start. Okay. And the answer is yes. Yasser says, Pace, have you done deals in all 50 states? Yes, I have done deals personally in all 50 states. My students do deals in all 50 states very frequently. My transaction coordination company does deals in all 50 states for other people frequently. So the answer is yes. It is not possible. It is the way it's done. A deed never goes through a mortgage company, and a deed never goes through a trustee, ever. Never once has it ever gone through a trustee unless somebody's in foreclosure. That's it. Okay. But good question. Really great question. Okay, cool. So let's give some homework. Let's make sure who is not on a team yet. Give me no, I'm not on a team. Give me a no. Give me a negative thing. Not yet. Okay. So the people that are saying no, can I ask you guys, like, why is it that I have to continually tell you to get on a team? And here we are 2 days into a challenge and you're still telling me you're not on a team. Okay. Like Nick P. Nick P says no. Okay. Nick P, what do you got, man? What's the deal? Why are you not on a team? Why are you not on a team, my friend?
Hey, peace. I don't know. I got in late last night. I wasn't sure. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
and I saw you at Limitless actually.
Did you see Carly go through it twice today on the Zoom, or did you just show up?
No, Pace, I'm sorry. No, I was in earlier, then I had to take a break.
Okay, I'm not going to pay y'all knuckleheads. Just want us to work so hard to get you on teams. It's just amazing. I swear to you, it's like I'm being punked. I think I'm being punked. I think what's happening is I have a friend of mine that's like, how can I make Pace's life a living hell? I'm going to send 500 people over to one of his lives today so that everybody says, no, I have not followed the challenge. Does the team have to be in your market, Carly?
No.
No.
There's not by market. It's by teams. It's not by region. It's not by market. Any sub-2 student is qualified enough to help you with anywhere in the United States. So it's not.
Here's the homework. Okay. Here's the homework. Pick a team, get on a team. What we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to only let people into the Elephant Challenge that have actually picked a team. I'm going to change the link for tomorrow's Zoom, and only if you are on a team will you get into the Zoom tomorrow. What we're going to do is we're going to have my title rep, the guy that I texted, the Android guy, he's going to come in tomorrow. We're going to go through a whole list of all the things he can provide in terms of value to us. Okay. And let's see here. All right. What if we waiting for approval? You'll get approved. Don't worry about it. Okay. So join the team, www.elephantchallenge.info. Join a team. It's completely free. How do I join a team? I missed it. Sean, just so you know, we've talked about, isn't it funny that the only way you'll join a team is if I say you can't have something unless you join a team? Crazy. Guys, don't be like that. Don't be those people. Okay. This is the kind of stuff that makes me question why I do free content. It's like herding cats. Nathan, I love it. Nothing is free. Nick P says nothing is free. Actually, I know a lot of things that are free. I do a lot of things for free. Hey, Nick, have you ever watched my YouTube channel? Nick? Has anybody ever watched my YouTube channel and not paid a $1? Okay, so Nick, you've just been proven wrong, my friend. There's a lot of free things out there, okay? I also am going to get a free list from my title rep tomorrow, and that's going to be great. So first thing we're going to do tomorrow is we'll do the free list. I'm going to jump into the paid list tomorrow. I'm going to find 3 places we can get a paid list with tomorrow, and we'll start the day off there. So what's the homework for tonight? What is the homework for tonight? It's everybody needs to get on a team. The only way you'll get into the Elephant Challenge tomorrow is by being on a team. And then what we'll do is I'll bring in a couple of guests for tomorrow so that we can jump into how to get foreclosures on a paid list and how to get foreclosures on a free list. I have 3 people coming with me tomorrow for the 9 o'clock appointment. And your other homework, you have 2 pieces of homework. Homework number 1, get on a team. Homework number 2, you need to have a title company that you're getting your list from. Okay, that's your homework. Okay, Carly, thank you for all you do. We'll see you.